turn this up. How about that one more time? Let's try it again. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is not the sideshow.
Nope.
This is not the undercard.
You know it.
This is the main event.
Dun, 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 dun.
Ryan Baldwin with my right-hand man sitting on my left-hand side, the one and only Mason Shepard.
Boom.
Talking sports once again here in the Green Studio in Denton, Texas.
Yep.
Or what little sports there are at the moment.
Yeah.
It's a little
been
slow.
kind of a rough week. No, and you know what? There was no sports on this weekend.
No, because the NBA All-Star weekend was this weekend, but it's hard to call that sports.
No, like I said, no sports on.
It's really hard to call that sports.
It's hard to call that entertaining.
True.
Good
it's
Lord.
technically sports, but
So get this. I was on the phone with my parents, right? So I'm on the phone with them, and we're watching, the latter half of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're going, especially my mom, this is horrible. Like, this is awful.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like, this is the worst thing that I've seen on television in a while. It's terrible.
Terrible.
Like, okay, let me say this. The skills challenge was all right.
Yeah.
They added some stuff.
That was kind of cool how it also was like not one-on-one. They kind of teamed it up.
Team
Antetokounmpo.
See, this was the problem with what they did with the All-Star game. It was too long as well. Well, not All-Star game, All-Star weekend. Some of the events were too long. Like, I'm sorry, you can only do skills challenge for a certain amount of time before it's like, oh, okay,
Yes,
can this be
moving on.
over?
Yes.
And they did too many things, like the clutch challenge. What? The rising. So rising stars has always been a thing for a little while, and so has the skills. But like they added the clutch challenge, and the celebrity all-star game they had some entertaining moments, but they had too many things, and they all went so long. Like when they had the rising stars, but it was a tournament instead of a game.
Instead
and it
of
was
the
like
sophomores versus the rookies.
Yeah,
it was like they kind of split
it was
some
a
people up and
tournament,
drafted them in tournament.
and it was like, oh my gosh, this is taking so long.
Yes, and
get
again,
it over with.
Because what that basically was, it was just 4 mini all-star games.
Yes, it was.
Which nobody likes to watch anyway because there's no defense played.
No.
So you basically took that thing that people don't already like to watch, and you split it up and did 4 more tiny ones.
And what's funny is it did not get over with that crowd. That crowd was dead.
Yeah.
The entire. Now you may get a rapper or two standing up over a dunk, who stood up, don't know English, who stood up over like a dunk, but when we always see better dunks in those games in the All-Star, in the dunk contest.
Yeah.
But my God, I was watching this, watching the highlights. I was not watching this live except for like the latter half. And I'm just like, these poor fans. Imagine we're going to be in Cleveland, Ohio for All-Star Weekend. And we're going to have a good time.
Cleveland, Ohio was strike 1.
You got that right. And we're going to have a good time, right? And then you're sitting there. You may got a girlfriend. You don't know, whatever. Or you may be with your boys. And then you're sitting there and you're like, okay, first things first. And then you watch it and it's like, okay, it gets better.
No, it doesn't get
better.
better.
Maybe no. And then the best part was watching it as highlights because you get to hear the commentary. Dwayne Wade, man, funny guy. But that was and Reggie Miller. But that was the best part was the commentary.
And that's sad that that's the best part.
Tell me about it.
It's sad that you have to that it's a better use of your time and more fun to watch the highlights than it is to watch the actual game now.
Yeah, and I think. Also, I would say that it's just that the only thing exciting about the 3-point contest was that Big Cat won it. My dad did not expect him to win, and he did, so that was kind of cool. We got some good spots, and I'm using wrestling terminology. We got some good spots in the Celebrity All-Star game with Tanner Berry going up and then slamming it home and, some other stuff and seeing little old Tiffany Haddish. I didn't even realize how short she was till I saw her next to everybody. And I see this tiny black person with this blonde hair. And I'm like, who is this? Is this Nate Roberts? And then it's like, oh, this is Tiffany Haddish. My God.
It's Nate Roberts.
But beyond that, it was just like,
the dunk contest was a snooze fest.
That was the worst
People missing left and right. And then, like I said before when we've talked about this, we've reached the point that we've basically done everything that human bodies can physically do, right?
And no one can...
We've seen people jump over other people. The only thing was Obi Toman's
Obi Toppin.
Obi Toppin, his one where he kind of like hit it off the backboard and then dunked it, which was kind of cool. But also,
it wasn't even like a pass catch. It was he grabbed it,
smacked it, and
dunked it.
But still, that like it was so quick that it almost looked like an accident. Like I wasn't even like,
did he mean to do that?
Yeah, I was like, huh, okay, well that seems like he kind of just got away with something, and all the judges were like, 10.
I think if we're being honest, I think they tell those judges kind of what to do.
Or I think.
Or those judges are like, okay, we got to do something.
Right.
I don't think that any of those votes are just genuine. Because I feel like, especially with Dominique the Freak sitting over there, I feel like they would just be like.
I bet they were all looking at each other going like,
really?
This is what we got for a dunk contest?
And you just see Isaiah Thomas just.
And
he's just smiling through this thing.
You know it's bad when Stephen A. Smith calls it a national atrocity.
It was.
But like Stephen A. is a pretty like staunch defender of like the NBA in general.
Yeah.
But he was like, this was embarrassing. And I was hoping that we would get some ratings posted up already, but it hasn't been posted yet. But I can't imagine that there was much ratings and that the downward trend for All-Star games is going to continue to go down.
It was, in all honesty, embarrassing. It was boring. Yeah. It was flat. It was as flat as 4 o'clock. It was. And here's the thing. As far as the dunk contest, though, I saw some dunks in the All-Star game. Once again, better than the dunk contest. Once again, okay, the one where Trae Young is he's kind of at like half court, but a little bit past it, and he lobs it up. Mm-hmm. And then I think it was Garland, probably. I can't remember. But it was a guy for East, because Atlanta's East, right? It was a guy for the East team. He was
now like LeBron versus Durant.
But it was like also someone on LeBron's team. They step up and they do a corkscrew and they take it and they dunk it. That in a dunk contest would be a good dunk. Yeah. Because what people are focused, they're like, oh, I got a windmill, I got to go between. They're like, dude, do something like, okay, he's throwing it from half court, I'm catching it, spinning and dunking, or like the one where the guy was at the free throw line, really behind it, threw it off the glass, went up from the free throw line, got it, and then dunked it. They're trying to do, okay, you're going to stand here. One of the guys even tried to do Vince Carter's honey dip, where he tried to, and he didn't even get anywhere close.
Couldn't get close. And even if he did, again, we've seen that before.
Yeah, so no, I think I've said this a million times, and I'm going to keep saying it. You make the dunk contest better. You get the celebrity dunkers that you see on the internet. You have them join a team, like an honorary membership. You get someone like the professor. You put the professor with the Orlando Magic. He goes in the dunk contest and does the dunks. Mm-hmm. And then whoever wins, the team gets that trophy, whatever. And you can do different people, but they're getting these no-name guys who people don't watch, except maybe Obi Toppin, because he's been playing good ball, I guess. But he was a good guy coming out of college.
Yeah, but he's also just like, because he was on the Knicks, right? That's the only reason people
again,
even know his name.
We're getting people that we don't know who they are. So why are we supposed to care?
Right.
Greg Anthony's son, in my opinion, was still the most embarrassing, even past Jalen Green. Jalen Green was an embarrassment. But Cole Anthony was embarrassing because he did this entire grandstanding of, okay, I'm with the Magic, but I got a Knicks jersey on because it's my dad's, and I'm going to dunk in Timberland boots, and missed 2 dunks and then got the third one in on pity. And it was, dude, it was so funny because
it's hard to watch, man.
When commentary is knocking this, they're on commentary, and Reggie Miller, I love Reggie, is knocking this. Like he's knocking on somebody. He's just knocking it. And he's just like, dude, there are people in the street that can do this. This is really, he didn't say it was really bad, but he could have. It's just one of those things where it's like, I'm with you. I want Horse. They need to bring one-on-one back. They need to do something.
Yeah.
Because if they think with what this was good, it was not.
Or just, man, if you can't get the best dunkers in the NBA, because let's be real, these guys are not the best.
No.
There's guys that
saw who the
Russell
best
Westbrook,
was in the
LeBron
All-Star
James,
game.
Giannis, all these guys throw down,
but they don't
want to
do
regular
it.
Basis. Exactly. Because, and I can't figure out why. Because remember back in like guys like Dominique
when we were
Wilkins
growing
and
up,
Michael
Dominique
Jordan,
Wilkins, Michael Jordan, Kobe,
they
Vince
were
Carter.
good, but they also made their name like Vince Carter was good, but he made his name in the dunk contest.
Let's just be real, and I love Vince, and I love his cousin Tracy. They're not getting in the Hall of Fame without the dunk contest.
Right. Yeah, Vince made it like he was a good shooting guard, but
he would not become half man, half amazing.
Yes, he would because of the dunk
contest.
Yes.
That's what made Blake Griffin.
Yes.
Dunk contest.
Well, he had a couple of those outside of him, but
but still,
it's what and so I just don't understand why all of a sudden people don't want to do it.
And I'm going to say this, and I'm a LeBron stan, I'm a LeBron mark, again, wrestling terminology. But when LeBron James was one of the first, in my opinion, to start refusing to be a part of it, that's when other stars were like, oh, we don't have to do this? Okay, great, I'm not. But that's when it started. And I love Bron, but he has to take responsibility for that. Because like I said, Jordan did it.
Yeah.
He won it with that iconic, I'm wearing them right now.
Yeah.
Jordan did it. And LeBron always was like, nope.
And I don't understand. I don't know if it's got to be a mindset thing. Because like Jordan would have taken that as like,
because Jordan was
he was competitive, and he's like
all the time.
He's like, oh, this is just another chance for me to show why I'm better than you.
That I'm the best of all time.
But that was like infectious because even before him, you would have people that would still
Dr.
dunk.
J.
Yeah, you would have people that would compete for that
Magic
because they
Johnson
wanted to be
was
the best.
even in one.
Yeah, they wanted to show that they were the best dunker in the NBA, and now people are just like.
And we talked about this. We said nowadays in the NBA, guys don't care about being the best anymore. They want to build a brand. They want to get shoes. They want to be a celebrity. They want to, score points.
Yep.
They don't want to compete that much anymore as in terms of All-Star Weekend. I'm not going to say in a game. That sounds ridiculous. But they don't want to, because that's the thing. It's kind of like the Pro Bowl in the sense of you get a chance to make your name in the All-Star Weekend, especially in the dunk contest, because like we said, when you do something crazy in the dunk contest, people start looking at you. People start watching your game.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're just like, we see the difference is, and I get it, but I still don't like it because I always wanted LeBron in one. The reason why LeBron didn't have to is because LeBron was a star coming out of high school. And now I'm not saying that it means anything because both Dwight Howard and Kobe did it, and they came out of high school too. But LeBron had built such a name up by the time people were asking him to be in it that he was like, no, I'm just not going to do it. And then, like I said, once that happened, then a lot of the stars started being like, yeah, no, if LeBron doesn't have to do it, I'm not doing it. And then now we just get, like I said, when I saw Mason Plumlee in one, I was like, oh my God, you've got to be, like, we couldn't get anybody else.
Yeah.
You couldn't give anybody a pay raise.
And it's, I wonder, maybe I'll have to, that'd be an interesting thing to study and go back and take a look at is where did people stop playing defense and compete in the All-Star game, and did that start to correlate with people not going to is there that correlation between people refusing to do the dunk contest and people starting to not try in the All-Star game, and let people go by on defense? And I wonder if that kind of started at the same time.
I think
and that's
did.
kind of a defining point. I'll have to go back and take a look.
Because I think what happens is when you have a contest in your weekend that is, okay, best of the best, right? And someone goes, I don't care. Then you have that reflection of like, well, then why do we care about any of this? This is not for like a trophy or like the title, not like, bet MVP. But even then, that goes on your resume. All-Star game MVP goes on your resume. And I think that it does, like I said, it's like a Pro Bowl in the sense of it goes on your resume, but it's not the most important thing that stands out.
Right. If you get selected, then sure. But All-Star MVP, I'm like, okay, great. Especially now. So,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, LeBron won MVP, great. But like Steph Curry probably should have won it because he set an All-Star game record with 16
but see, once
threes.
Again, it's like these are award there are so many awards that are just moment awards then. Because I thought Steph Curry got it. Like I said, I watched the highlights. I didn't see the ceremony. I thought Steph Curry won it. And then it's like, oh, no, LeBron, because LeBron hit the game-winning shot.
Yeah. And here's the other thing, too. Steph Curry jacked up 27 threes in the game.
Yep.
And made 16.
Yep.
Impressive.
Yeah.
You are never going to play. If they tried that back in like '98, because I'll say '98 because I was watching The Last Dance recently, like rewatching it, and they did they showed the All-Star game with Jordan, his like kind of last big one, and Kobe's like kind of first one, and it was them against each other. I'm like, you try throwing up 27 threes in that era All-Star game, you are losing. You're gonna have somebody in your face every single time. You're not gonna get just free 3-pointers to shoot. And you are going to lose and you're going to be made fun of because you threw up 27 threes and couldn't make and made like 5 of them. Yeah, but now you just get like Curry walks up and has like nobody stands around him and he's just like, okay.
Yeah. The one-legged one, and then he's like doing some like from almost half court.
Yeah.
And
honestly, if I wanted to watch something like that, I'd just go watch the Harlem Globetrotters, man. Because at least they're like doing even crazier stuff, right?
Yeah, get a Globetrotter in the dunk contest. Do something.
Man, I would rather just watch the Harlem Globetrotters than the best in the NBA. And that is sad. That makes me sad because that should be the time where they're like, man, we are going to prove that the West is better than the East or the East is better than the West. We're going to go out there and show why we are the best in the league.
Conference. And now everybody's just like.
Instead, it's just, hey, guys, let's don't need to tweak any ankles or anything. We still got another 2 months left in the season, so let's just all be friends. And like Curry, you can throw up your 27 threes, and we'll just all kind of go, oh wow, okay, that was great. And then it irks me. It's awful. I hate it. I hated
it too. It was boring.
I hate it. It is just terrible to watch.
Yeah.
And I hope the ratings just plummet and they eventually come up with something new.
There's no way people were.
I hope they just look at it and go like, okay, well, we can't just keep doing this year after year.
There was no way anybody was entertained by this. But if I'm being honest, Ryan, and I'm being honest here, that the NBA's just been like that. For me, it's been so. I remember growing up, I've loved basketball as much as I loved football, where I couldn't wait to watch it with my dad and my mom and see. Now the NBA, I don't know what it is, but now with the NBA, I'm just like, I really don't care. Like, cool, good for you, but I don't care anymore. And I think what it is for me is the fact that with the NBA, and I think people don't realize the effect that had, but so many people were trying to make a super team that it's just like, okay, the team is going to win everything, blah. And, now the Suns are going to the championship game and the Bucks are winning it and the Sixers aren't as bad as they used to be, whatever. So it's changing back, I guess, but...
It's changing more to like you need a superstar and then a good number 2.
Yeah.
As opposed to like a super team kind of deal. Because you can put in good role players around to fill...
Yeah, because growing up in the 2010s, like with what I did...
You had
watching
the Heat,
basketball, you had
you had the Cavaliers, you had the Warriors,
and
then you had people trying to build like the Nets and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's just like, why would I? No, I don't care. Like, I think if we're being honest, the NBA loses viewership, and I'm not going to say this. I'm going to back this up with facts, and I have to find them because I can't make this blanket statement. But I feel, in my personal opinion, if there are more people out there like me. I feel like the NBA loses viewership at least like once every 5 years, or at least like once a year, in the sense of people are just like, I can't watch because it's just, I can't. And like I said, man, I loved basketball growing up. I loved watching it. Now I don't, and I don't know what happened. I literally don't know why I don't want to sit down and watch basketball anymore. And I used to really love it.
Yeah.
I don't know what the NBA's done, but
I think part of it is the offense. They're like, they facilitated so much more towards the offense.
Yeah.
That it makes scoring baskets less impressive. I think.
Yeah.
Like
everything is about
like
scoring
when Michael
now.
Jordan was putting up like 40 points against the bad boy Pistons, you knew he was getting worked for those 40 points. He was taking a physical beating.
Or when LeBron was playing the Spurs in 2009 and everything else.
It was tough to get those points. It was tough,
but now since everything is offense-oriented,
you like
scoring has become
and the three ball. Yeah, there's no like physical. There's no physicality
scoring has become what you have to do. Well, it's basketball, so it's always what you have to do. But it's become like it's what you have to do to get noticed, in the sense of like in my opinion, there are no more like Charles Oakleys where it's like defensive really only. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's strictly You got to be a center who can shoot. You got to be a power forward who can shoot.
Look at how Dwight Howard and DeAndre Jordan have been completely removed apart from like role players off the bench.
And now it's like Embiid or Jokic where you have to be 7 feet, but you still got to be able to shoot that ball.
And shoot and dribble.
It's just like, it's just turned into glorified street ball in the sense of like, okay, we're going to score and score, and that's about it. And I love Steph Curry and I love watching him, but when everything is, because I think the reason I stopped watching basketball is because it's kind of like what you said about Jordan. And again, I got nothing against Mike, except, personally, I don't think he's the best person personally. But when he played, people were different. It's kind of like a signal of this generation, how everybody's the same. Now when Jordan was playing, there were your slashers, right? Mm-hmm. You had your 3-point shooters like Reggie, but they weren't as common and they weren't really necessary. And it's like you said, people didn't really like that Reggie was doing that. But, that's what he was. He was a sharpshooter, and he kind of made that.
Yeah, like on the 90s Bulls, Michael would drive to the net, but then he'd have Steve Kerr to dish it out to for a three.
Yeah.
Michael wasn't just like ISO, triple threat, all of a sudden step back three.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't the offense.
You have your slashers, you have your power forwards who weren't putting up 40 a game.
Yeah.
They would sometimes maybe get 10 or 15, but they would have rebounds. And, the game has evolved, but I think basketball's gotten boring because everybody wants to do the same thing. If you're not a great 3-point shooter, you're getting a triple-double. If you're not getting a triple-double, then you're shooting the three. If you're not shooting the three, then it's just this circle. And everybody's just trying to do the same thing.
And I feel like the mid-range has gone away.
Oh, it has.
And the post-game.
Nobody cares about that.
And nobody plays like...
If you can't shoot the three, you're not winning.
Yeah.
Or you're not doing anything. That's how you get noticed, is shooting 3-pointers.
Yeah.
Because we have... And it's kind of... We're getting into philosophy, but it's kind of, in tune with our society. And we got to move on to the next one because it's 4:29. Basketball has become like society. And like it's that instant gratification. 3 points is the highest amount of points? Well, that's all the shots we need to make then. We don't need to worry about how important a mid-range is or how a good post-game helps us. Let's just focus on getting the most points possible.
And it's another one that's tied to analytics, right? This is part of because somebody somewhere went shooting 35% from three is still worth more than shooting like 50% from two.
Yeah.
And they did the math and was like, look, the game changes because it is actually better if you can shoot X% from the 3-point line to take that shot as opposed to taking a mid-range shot.
Yeah.
And so analytics blew that all open, and now this is what we have left. And that turns the All-Star game just into a glorified regular season game where this is basically a regular season game if nobody played defense.
Pretty much, yeah. It's not special.
No, it's not special.
It's not the best going against the best.
You would see 163 to 160 in any game. I mean, you're already seeing like 120, 130 fairly regularly. So just take away the actually playing defense, and this is the score you would get.
Yeah.
It is a glorified game with nobody playing defense. A glorified exhibition game.
Pretty much.
Well, I can't wait to see the ratings. I'll let you know what the ratings are.
Oh, that's going to be great.
Yeah, I hope maybe we'll discuss that later. But coming up next, we have the next edition of Mount Rushmore, which is shooting guards. And, of course, it's basically MJ plus 3. So don't go anywhere. We're going to figure out who the other 3 are because that's really the only interesting part of it.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the main events.
Boom.
Still Ryan Baldwin, still Mason Shepard.
Woo!
Flying through sports. Football season's over. Basketball
We're
season
both
in full
sad
swing.
about that.
Yeah. Count it down. 6 more months until training camp.
But that means we'll be back in school by then.
That's true.
Yeah.
Get another round ready for that. But since it's basketball season, we just talked about the NBA All-Star game. We're moving on to the Mount Rushmore of shooting guards. And, of course, Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan has,
he's
not on. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, he even like we don't really rank these 1 through 4.
No.
And I don't know if there's any case you could make for him not to be the number 1 shooting guard of all time.
You can't. Now, here's the crazy thing about society. Someone out there has a Mount Rushmore with Michael Jordan not on it.
Which I don't know how.
Someone
that is,
out there does. We don't know who this person is.
We're all entitled to
but
our
let's
wrong
just
opinions.
put it like this. And for all my wrestling fans, Michael Jordan, him being the number one shooting guard is like the Undertaker going in the Hall of Fame. Like it's known. It's whatever.
Yeah. And I bet we've got at least one more we're agreeing on.
Kobe.
Kobe's
got to be there. Kobe beating Bryant. It's still funny this day. He was, before Steph, before Russell, this was the guy that kind of made scoring a lot of points and being that ball hog. I mean, there were people before him, but it was magnified with Kobe.
Yes.
And I think
the whole meme of him not having a pass button on 2K when he got the ball.
I just think it's one of those things where it's like this. They titled it the selfish generation, and it started with Kobe. I mean, Kobe was the first. Kobe kind of took after Mike in the sense of, yeah, I know I'm that good. I'm just going to tell you I'm that good, and you're just going to have to deal with it. I love the interview where Kobe was like, yeah, people don't like that, I feel this way about myself. Beat me.
True.
If you don't beat me, then it doesn't do anything. But rest in peace to Kobe. That's one of those flashlight moments you'll never forget where you were when you got that news, especially when you grew up watching him. You were lucky you got to see 8 Kobe with the afro and the goatee. I got to see 24. Next, it was kind of hard because not necessarily, but because basketball positions they change in and out. I actually had it got hard in some respects. I had to look some up, Ryan, kind of like you do.
Oh, you did? Oh,
I had to only just because you look. No, I was about to say it. Kobe and MJ. That's obvious, but who were some other great shooting guards? And they have been a lot, but I was tempted to go. Oh my God, that's not it. We're gonna edit all this out, folks. No, we won't. Probably not.
Depends on how much editing I've already done.
Yeah, you got that right. Let me see. Of all time here, we're going with the all times list, folks. Okay, so
I already know one of them that's going to go way back that you're not ready for. If you want me to throw one out there,
go ahead.
Sam Jones.
That doesn't surprise me.
Okay.
I know about
yes.
Sam Jones.
Sam Jones, he was the shooting guard during the Bill Russell area Celtics.
Yeah.
And when you are kind of the go-to scorer and clutch shooter in the Bill Russell era of Celtics, you've hit it big. You're one of the best. And this man, the first few years, he was a little bit lower in terms of points and stuff. But by the time you hit 61, 62, he was right up there with Bill Russell in terms of scoring, for the season, and he would hit plenty of clutch shots in the playoffs. Yeah, and he's got 10 rings. He's only behind Bill Russell in terms of rings. So I'm throwing him up there. That's impressive.
For me, I'm going with Clyde the Glide Drexler. Got to go with Clyde.
Yep. Maybe one of the best all around shooting guards.
Yeah,
because he's up there. I have it. I had it. Hold on. He is 8th in steals, 34th in scoring, 34th in assists, 130th in rebounds, and 172nd in blocks as a guard.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Clyde the Glide, man. I'm also going to go with, you threw it back. I'm going to go Jerry West with the Lakers.
Okay.
I just think when you look at the Lakers, I know we can get caught up with, Kareem and Magic and Shaq and Kobe, but and Karl Malone, but Jerry West was a very integral part of Lakers history. True. And I think that, he's won rings too. I don't think you can ignore the impact that Jerry West had. Again, he was kind of Larry Bird before Larry in the sense of he played with a more integrated team, but he still stood out. And right. I think that's huge. So I got to go Clyde the Glide, Jerry West, MJ, and Kobe. Now, who's your last person?
I was also thinking Clyde the Glide, just because he did so much all around, and it's really hard for me too, because I like to base my stuff off of people that have changed the game.
But it's
shooting guards have always been that scorer. In terms of offense, that's why it's called shooting guard. They're the ones that were, in crunch time, they were taking your big shots.
Yeah,
they were the ones that were putting up a majority of your points most of the time. Sometimes you get the Bill Russell or the Wilt, and and now that it's kind of positionless
I'm surprised you
basketball,
didn't go
it's all
like
kinda,
Walt Frazier or something.
I mean, but even like there's going to be people that are going to be up there in the top 75, like James Harden and Dwayne Wade and Reggie Miller and
Yeah, I
like all
looked it
these
up
guys
and I
that
was
are
like,
like,
Dwayne Wade was in there. I was like, ooh,
yeah.
that's hard. 'Cause
And I mean, but like I think Dwayne didn't really have enough in terms of the
no,
other stats.
he didn't. But still, when I grew up watching Dwayne Wade.
Yeah.
So it's like, can't knock him, but
Yeah, and there's so many like Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady,
Grady,
Ray Allen,
Ray Allen, Manu, one of the best
Manu
six
Ginobili,
men.
yeah. It's just so hard.
But you got to pick one. No, it was hard for me too. How do you think I went Jerry West?
Yeah, that is. All right. We're gonna go way back. Bill Sharman.
Bill Sharman.
Yeah,
Okay.
way back for the Celtics, even before Russell and
Jones.
and Jones. So he was kind of like the first to specialize in shooting, like deep shooting, and he was kind of the first person to. He never had like the most prolific stats, but you wouldn't have like Curry and all these guys and shooters without Bill Sharman. And of course, you know, the Celtics back then, like between like 44 or like really 50 and 70 were just elite, and even into the 70s and 80s. But like, they won so many titles. Sharman won 4 just by himself, and then he was a very successful head coach. So he had a high basketball IQ, but his main thing was he kind of made the shooting guard into the deep specialist. From everywhere on the court, mid-range.
Yeah.
He kind of made the mid-range into three-point kind of.
So this was the
guard
Celtics
zone.
in the 40s.
I think Sharman was like, hold on.
Because you know where I'm going with here. And like I said, we discussed this.
Yeah, we talked about this. This was 50 to 55. No, he was drafted and he was drafted by the Washington Capitals in 1950 of the NBA draft, and then was traded to Celtics from 51-52. So really not that long before Russell came in.
Yeah, not that long. The best still wasn't there yet.
True. Yeah. Man, shooting guards was hard because there's so many guys that are like right there, and like the fact that I don't put them up there doesn't detract at all from their abilities or their accolades or anything like that.
Because I would not have been offended if you put Manu in there and was like, he's the one who really started making the 6-man important. Because it was always important, but Manu, like, we really wouldn't value a 6-man as much. I mean, even surprisingly, George Iceman, Gerwin.
Really, the thing I was thinking more with Manu is him and Dirk were really kind of the forays for European players.
Yeah.
Like Dirk, it was big, but Manu won. Like before Dirk, Manu was much more like successful, consistent. I love Dirk, but Manu was much more consistently successul on the Spurs before Dirk got there.
Yeah.
And so he was very pivotal in terms of European players. I know when we get to
power forwards, we're gonna have D in. We have to, I think Sarah would kill us if we didn't. But before that, we got to get small forwards. And we already know one person we're going to have on small forwards.
LeBron James. And man, I'm just gonna go ahead and put him out there right now. Kevin Durant.
Yeah, you got to put KD on there. You know, we had to before he attacked us on Twitter. So
let's save the next two because otherwise there's not gonna be any reason to watch.
Pretty much,
week.
yeah. But it's a mystery now. Now they have to see who our two are gonna be.
It's the X-Files theme for all you youngins out there. All right. But we'll take one more break, and then we're going to have Jose Moreno and Jeremiah Russo in for another
pro wrestling
segment because there were shenanigans and all kinds of stuff that went in. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the main events. Ryan Baldwin still here with Mason Shepard, as always. And our special guest returning for more wrestling stuff, Jeremiah Russo, Jose Moreno.
Hey, we're not dead, guys.
No, welcome back. No, they made it. They survived, especially Jose. We're all very, very relieved to see him here.
After his cold shower.
So this past
All right.
Saturday was the Elimination Chamber. Do I understand that
Yes,
right?
That
this is
is
the elimination
correct.
chamber.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I know exactly nothing about this.
No, you don't.
So I'm going to go ahead and let y'all take it away. Go run with it. All I ask is that please don't make me edit for 3 hours for the rest
We
of
will
the
Where's
stuff.
try
the
our
fun in
best.
that? No,
I
I'm playing.
know.
We would try our best. Okay, so elimination chamber. Look, I'm gonna be honest. Everybody was just like, and I said this in the group chat, but everybody was like, "Oh, this was horrible. It was bad." It's like I didn't see any difference from the other pay-per-views, premium live events that I've seen. I didn't see anything different. It was predictable.
I mean, here's the thing, right? So we go into this. A report comes out that the WWE is gonna do twists and turns. Okay, dope. So we're gonna maybe get a different world champion. The whole problem with the show, because the last Saudi show went well.
Oh,
Like,
very
yeah,
well.
it was
Yeah.
actually-
It was really
Crown
good.
Jewel was
Crown
actually
Crown
very
was
good.
great, and then Day One was good. Royal Rumble was bad just because it was
predictable.
It was all over the place.
It was all over
It
the
was all
place.
over the
Yeah.
place. And so we were all hoping, okay, well maybe even if Brock wins the title, let's make the chamber match good. You know? Let's just make this chamber match worth it, because we're getting this version of Lesnar where he's more open to doing bumps. He's more open to doing things because he likes what he's doing, right?
And he's actually better. I like him a lot better.
And he's better, right? But like the way they booked the Elimination Chamber match, both of them was just outstandingly bad. It was like they didn't care. It was like, okay, let's get this rushed up. Let's get through this. Like I feel like I felt like I was in real life watching someone just simulate a universe mode.
Yeah.
Just like
I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, it
I
kind of
enjoyed
played
the women's.
part
The
that
women's-
Brock
the
Lesnar was like
the
this
women's-
beast and literally kicking
yeah,
down the
but
chamber.
then
But-
that makes your whole Raw roster look
Look,
like a bunch of chumps.
that is the thing.
You
but
know?
That's what Lesnar. That's what he did at
Because
the
that's
Rumble.
what Lesnar is, though. You
Because
gotta-
then, like, okay, Lesnar loses to Reigns at Mania. What now for him? Are we gonna keep getting late?
well, here's the
Reigns
thing. I
versus
think,
Lesnar?
I think
We're
at
tired
that
of it
point,
at
I think at that point, Roman's gonna have to lose at WrestleMania.
No, that will
it
no,
would
that will
suck,
not
but I
happen.
think that's where you have to go from here.
Do you? They will set the seats on fire.
No, like Dallas will boo the. They would.
But
boo.
think about it.
No,
Do you think
you're
that
the Vince Russo already? Yo, bro. Hey, bro.
You
so
guys-
we
Hey,
said
bro.
Lesnar
Yo,
to win,
bro.
You know, and so we do a ref
This
bump,
is
bro.
what I'm-
Hey, bro,
no, not a
hey, bro.
ref bump.
And then we put the titles on a pole, bro.
Yeah,
and then we
bro.
bring Major Guns out, bro. And the crowd cheers. You send him home happy with Lesnar winning,
is
bro.
what-
Bro.
No,
Here's the thing.
You have Roman win.
I don't put it past because is this a I know it's a champion versus champion, but is it for the both belts?
Yes.
Is it going to be
It's-
another
it's
like
for
Becky
both.
2 belts?
Yeah.
It's gonna be for both
You gotta
belts.
have Roman
Here's my
do
thing.
it.
What
You
they're-
have to, but what is there going to do for Roman after that?
Well, then you have Roman go up against Raw people.
Yeah.
You get
Pretty
Roman
much.
against Bobby.
That's the point.
You
You
get
get
for Roman
okay.
automatically
You
drops.
get Roman versus Bobby at back, or you get Roman versus Lesnar at WrestleMania Backlash. If you want to do that, right? You get Roman
hope they
versus
don't do
Lashley
Backlash, man.
at
They won't.
you get Roman versus Lashley at
Some
at
point,
Money in
yeah.
the Bank. In June, you can get Roman versus Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
You can also give him Braun Breaker. Maybe give him.
Yeah, Breaker's not gonna
Give
be
him
in it.
Gable Steveson. Gable Stevenson's about to be like ready.
Yeah.
Who's the one? Oh wait, no.
Like you got a lot of people that are like, you know, the Raw roster, because people don't watch Raw, but Raw's getting better. Raw has a way better roster than SmackDown's.
They just don't know how
No,
to
they do.
utilize
They
it.
do.
They don't know how to utilize
No, they do,
it,
and
though.
that's been the problem with SmackDown. I've been watching SmackDown every week,
Me
and
too.
SmackDown's been getting so boring.
Yeah, oh no, I
Because
agree with
it's,
that.
It's because I'm seeing the same thing over and over again. But you have
Yeah.
Sheamus still, you have Cesaro, you have Ricochet, you have a lot
Yeah,
of people.
it's just-
Even if they aren't strong, like people will still buy into a freaking Ricochet match at WrestleMania Backlash or a Payback because
Yeah.
it's Backlash or Payback. No one cares about those.
Pretty
pay-per-views.
much,
You
yeah.
just gotta give him something that can feed him over for a little bit.
I said this when we were talking about Raw. I said this. Randy Orton, 20 years later, is still the most over guy on that fucking program. He really, like, I'm being serious. Like, you go out there, his music hits, and him by himself, not with Riddle.
Insta-pop, man.
People just, they actually do, because those fans, they just sit there. But no, here's my
We haven't
thing.
seen Roman versus Randy yet either.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That
like,
should-
that
The
when
problem
you give
is-
Roman those belts, you give him a bigger pool.
and plus, bro,
But
here's
who
the
are you-
thing.
I know it's gonna be the same matches almost.
But
You know
like,
what?
but would you rather that or Lesnar show up once a month, and then maybe
Whoa,
fight?
What do you want to do with Lesnar right now? He's still trying to get his revenge because he hasn't beaten Roman
Yeah,
cleanly yet.
that's the thing.
It's
He's
gonna
not.
happen. It's gonna happen.
No,
No,
he's not.
WWE
It
is
would
gonna
be-
find a way
it
for
would-
this to happen. I know
It would
is.
be if Cena couldn't beat him. If freaking John Cena couldn't beat him,
No.
Somebody's gonna come
then
in.
then Lesnar, sure as heck.
One
is
of the
not-
new
The
one
Rock
of the
isn't
new
coming in,
talents
right?
is
It's-
going to
Rock
beat
is-
Roman.
Rock was rumored, but he's still not coming for like another
No,
year or two.
yeah,
right?
and there you go. Keep Roman's belt. on.
Yes,
This
because-
is the only guy that can have a belt for 2-3 years, and people will watch. Why? Because Roman's character isn't even at the end of his character.
know.
It isn't.
You
He's-
know that I am the #1 Roman fan. We
Then-
know that.
then-
but at the
but-
end of the day, it just I don't see
No, but
to the point where
storyline wise, he's at his midpoint.
Yeah, midpoint.
He's at
Yeah,
his midpoint. He's not even close to the finish line for Luke. And if he wins at Mania for just a quick, crappy little shock twist, it would literally crap on what Reigns has been building
oh, it would.
for a year.
Because
like,
I think what you have to look at in booking wise, okay, what they're doing with Reigns and Lesnar, I saw somebody say this, and they're right. They're trying to do Rock and Austin again, where they had these trilogies of
that's all
matches.
they have.
But here's
really
the thing
to use.
with Reigns, and this is why I agree with Jose. If Lesnar beats him, you have to understand every time that they've had a match, Lesnar is whipped out of him every single time.
Well, obviously
Lesnar
don't
has
have
beat-
one of these
Lesnar has
finisher
beaten him
showdowns.
Lesnar
consistently.
already beat him at Mania.
Yeah,
Like, why would Lesnar want to win again at Mania?
yeah,
Like, it wouldn't make sense booking wise. Like, if you're trying to make the Mania 3 matter, you gotta have Reigns get his dub, and
Yeah,
then you have their final match together, like in 2-3
But then what are
years.
you gonna do with Lesnar after that?
he can
Then
go. He
you know
can.
what? Lesnar, when he was doing his like, I'm gonna fight whoever I want to fight and have weird matches. That era was cool. Him against Finn Balor, him against Ricochet, him against
That really
Randy
was
Orton.
cool. Yeah,
like
because
that was a cool era because it was like, hey, now we can just see Brock fight people. Like,
but
And Brock had to step
wants-
out of his
Brock
comfort
wants
zone.
That championship though,
but
man.
like, what is? Then give him the United States title. Give him a mid card title. Hell,
something
give him
elevated.
something to elevate and give power to. 'cause
that would look terrible if they're making Brock look like this.
You
and
know
they give
what?
him like an IC or a United
give him
States.
an IC title. Have him defend it and have it have a big fight feel. You not only do you put over smaller guys in the card and make them look like, hey, this guy can go up against Lesnar.
So you want
He's
it to
on
be
the
like a
same
John
level.
Cena US Open challenge
Yes.
for Brock? I will admit that would look
The
pretty
thing
good.
is-
but I mean, that's not.
Cena elevated
The
that U.S.
character-
title.
Cena
when he-
elevated the U.S. Championship
when he
to the
did
point
that-
where more people cared about that title
Oh yeah.
than the world title.
Why do you think they brought Owens in to fight Cena with that belt?
Why do you think people gave a crap about Rollins' was Intercontinental title?
Yes.
Rollins, when he had his IC belt, was a better reign than his Universal title reign.
Oh,
That is
100%.
It's not
yeah.
the title that makes the
no,
man. It's the man that makes the title.
And I think that, for one, after WrestleMania, Reigns will win and Lesnar will go home.
Yeah, because let's be honest, these titles mean nothing. This is a fake
They don't-
sport.
they
This is a
don't-
fake sport. This is like
You
if
bring
I
out
won
the
the
big guns
Super
here.
Bowl. This is like if I won the Super Bowl against like little kids. Like that's what the WWE championships mean. They're worthless unless the competitor makes you go, dang, this title's awesome. The Universal Championship 2 years ago was considered the worst title in the world. And no
Yeah.
one cared about the Universal title. It was called the mid card, not the mid card. It was called the part timer title.
Yeah.
No one cared about it. Roman comes in, and oh my God, I care more about the stupid Fruit Loop Universal belt,
Yeah.
the fruit gum, the fruit by the foot belt, than I do about the WWE Championship, which has over 40, 50 or so years of history.
Yeah.
That
I'm just
is-
saying, all these belts are ugly just to begin with.
Nah.
Look,
I'm
the
sorry.
reason
not
why
all.
I'm sorry.
This
These new
my
ones are
opinion as to
terrible.
why the belts don't mean anything now is it not because it's fake sport. I hate that word. It's
You
because
brought the big gun on that one.
it's whatever. But the reason they don't mean anything is because I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. When the WWE, I bring back the world title, that's all I'm saying. But when the WWE started making 24/7 belts and women tag team belts, and there's like, if they ever took it back, which I wish they would, to the way it was, where it was like, okay, you have the WWF title, you got the mid card belts, you got the tag team belts, you got the women's belt. That though back then those titles meant something because not everybody had one. Now everybody gets one, and it's like,
I get that, but you also gotta remember, like, I treat championships like boxing, right? I treat the idea of championships like boxing. There is
Yeah.
a light heavyweight championship,
Yeah,
a
Yeah.
cruiserweight,
welterweight.
right?
I
Welterweight,
love
right?
that.
So
I
there's
love
multiple,
those
right?
things.
That is kind of what the WWE is trying to do. Like, that's what the company's trying to do when they have multiple belts.
Yeah.
Now, a 24/7 belt. I mean,
Which
if it gives the jobbers, I feel sad. I feel bad. If it gives the lower
Dana
card
Brooke.
guys, I don't want to say jobbers. They're all really talented.
But see,
people.
that's
but
what-
like all the lower card guys, it gives them TV time.
Yeah.
It gives them a reason for to watch. Now, I don't think the 24 title takes away from the beauty of the WWE title. It's a 24 title. It's a way different title. I think that when you have an IC and a US belt, okay, that means you have now 3 champions, right?
Yes.
That means you have 3 people that will be on TV consistently.
Yes.
Right? That means we'll have 3 consistent rivalries.
But you don't even
with
see
some
the
work to it.
24/7.
You don't see
always
it.
on
You don't even
TV.
see it,
Well,
right?
that's because
24/7.
that's more
So when
segment
you have
based.
4 titles that, for the men's, you have 4 titles that you care about. Because in boxing, there's 4 titles you care about. The
Yes.
heavyweight, the welterweight, and the lightweight, and the featherweight. That's the 4 titles you give a crap about, right?
Yeah.
So that is why I like that idea, because it gives more chances. And also, it builds, on Raw, it can build someone up. Because a U.S. belt, a good reign, he says, hey, why doesn't this guy go for the World Championship belt? I already know when Braun Breaker comes on to the scene, and I think he's going to be on Raw.
He will be.
He's gonna for sure get that U.S. title and have one of the
joke
dopest
right now.
reigns.
It used to be decent.
The
Like,
re-
Miz
but the
made
reason
the
it's
IC title what
Well,
it was.
the IC title,
and now it's
the
like,
IC title just changed to
crap
Sami
show.
Zayn.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
who knows what's gonna happen? I think Sami Zayn can have a good run with this title.
they messed up his character.
No,
but
they didn't.
to me,
No.
Because guess what?
Even I have
now
to-
he's getting reactions.
No, I
I'm
have to agree with Jose on that one. At first, I didn't like what Zayn was doing, but he's one of the most over people on that show.
No, I've been
And,
a Sami
like-
Zayn fan since he was El Generico. And I remember when he came onto the main roster, people popped. But after a while, we got tired of him because he was putting a rivalry with Braun Strowman that literally made him look like crap.
Yeah.
And then after that rivalry, he just dwindled. And he was kind of crap as a heel. And then he had that weird tag team with my other 2 favorite wrestlers in the company, Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura, which I
Yeah.
bet none of you even remembered that. I also bet you guys.
No,
don't
I
even-
remember.
I bet you guys don't even remember what the heck was the story of last year's of Sami Zayn's WrestleMania story last year. Do you guys remember? No, you don't. But you know what you guys do know about? In Zayn. You guys know about Sami Zayn. You guys give a crap about seeing Sami Zayn now. You guys actually see him and go, man, I don't like this. They worked you, brother. They worked you.
I mean, I could care less
You
for the
got
guy
work.
in general.
Yeah,
but
like Sami Zayn, he comes out, boo! You hear that? Sami sucks. You hear that? You feel that? I watch SmackDown with a 60 on volume because I want to hear the crowd. And the only time I hear the crowd go wild is when Roman Reigns comes out, and when Rick Boogs comes out, and when freaking Sami Zayn comes out, and he just starts talking about conspiracies, because they got something that really matters to him. That's Sami Zayn, the person. He's a super leftist person in real life. That's why I love Sami Zayn. Him and I, politically, we stand the same, and wrestling, we stand the same on the same stance.
That
right?
is very true. Yeah.
So that's why Sami is having the time of his life, and he got an IC belt out of it because he's over.
Very
Like,
much. Yeah.
super. He got a program with Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
told me in 2016 that Sami Zayn would have gotten a program with Brock Lesnar, I would have been like, oh, is he going to go to WrestleMania and win the WWE Championship? I would have thought that because I was a Sami Zayn diehard, but I would have still been happy regardless of what he got because he was at one point in the main event picture, even though he was a joke. But who cares, right? TV time, and he's having the time of his life. He re-signed a contract.
and-
Kevin Owens re-signed a contract.
Because, well, for one, we're going to talk about this later after the chamber. We know one of the reasons why Kevin Owens got the contract. We'll discuss later. But no, I agree. I think the thing with Sammy and that whole situation is, look, I think what people have to get past to it, and even when I listen to Cornette, I have to think differently because, of course, he's going to think it's garbage. And with certain things with the WWE, and I think I remember Jose telling me this, and he was right. With the WWE, they are so unapologetically in your face with the personas that they make that it's one of those things where it's like a lot of wrestling purists, like myself, in my opinion, will see Sammy and hear the promo content like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. But then it starts to set in later when you watch him more, because Sammy can still work. That no one's ever questioned that, and he's a great talker. I think it's one of those things where like you have to let stuff set in with Sammy at least, and I think with other people with that IC belt, and I hate they didn't let them do it with Apollo Crews, but the difference between Sammy and Apollo can't talk.
Apollo can't for life.
He can't talk, but that gimmick that he was working. Going back to his Nigerian heritage, I actually really liked that, and
Everyone
it gave
did.
him
Everyone
something.
did.
But but WWE, they do this too with the personas. They put a hat on a hat. They couldn't just let him be prideful. They had to give him an accent to talk with, which we all knew was fake because even though he lived over there, he's not from there originally.
I mean, but it's the same as getting a white guy to play like a Russian stereotype.
Yeah,
like
I
that's
know.
that's how I took it.
Yeah.
And I mean, he wanted to do it. So,
yeah, I know that's the thing.
you know,
but see,
and
that's
I mean,
what a lot of people
the
don't
accent,
know.
The accent was I mean, it's a character.
It's-
like we also have to remember, and I've thought about this recently, is like wrestlers can get nominated for an Emmy.
Yeah.
They're actors. They have to, and that's why we like when people get so
And they've
offended.
had- alright,
when
they
people
have.
get offended over, did you guys know that Rusev was actually Bulgarian but played a Russian? That's so stupid. No, that's who the hell cares about Bulgaria?
Yeah,
damn.
no.
Yeah, like you want us to get us to boo him? Tell us he's Russian.
Rusev
Hey,
doing that, yeah. But see,
I
here's-
will always go with Rusev. Or what
Like
is he
when,
now?
and it was funny
Miro?
when he
I would
became
always go for
Bulgarian,
Miro.
people stopped caring about him.
yeah, no, that's
People
true.
stopped
Yeah.
caring about him, and then people didn't give a crap about him until he did Happy Rusev Day. But when he was Russian, that's when he got the most.
And the tank.
That's
and
when he got
Yeah.
the boo. That's when he got his tank. That's when he got his John Cena. When he became Bulgarian, it was like, I'm from Bulgaria. Oh, what does Bulgaria
not- don't
do?
nominate
him
What-
for an
what-
Emmy.
what
No,
does
I think
Bulgaria
the
do?
thing is, even if you don't want to look at wrestlers as actors, which again I don't, but we view wrestling
But that's
differently.
the biggest part.
But that's the point.
The big part of the is like if you're not wrestling with a character, why the hell am I watching you?
Yeah.
Why if you're why do people watch Conor McGregor? Because he talks a lot. He's also an
Yeah,
actor,
yeah, he has-
right? But when you watch WWE, in which hey, there's a bit of soap opera elements here.
Yes.
Everyone up there, and even
But you
and here's
need
the-
that though to be different. That's
Yeah,
the thing. Like,
like, and-
Conor
and
McGregor
like-
does it to be different, and he can back it up.
And like I've
He's a
met
good-
wrestlers on the indies, right? I met Tankman, I met Shane Taylor, I met I act like I'm Cornette, but no, like, I met these wrestlers, right? And they're like normal dudes, like they act like Russo over here, right?
Yeah.
Like they talk about Dragon Ball Z and
Yeah,
playing
like I
Xbox,
said, they're
right?
nerds.
So when they go up there and they're doing these voices, like they're doing these characters, that's not them. So that's why like, you know, when I see Sami Zayn do a crazy, you know, crazy conspiracy theorist from Canada, I believe that because you know what? That's his character. He's playing it. So I when Apollo Crews tried doing the Nigerian accent, what was weird is, and now I see what you mean. It just kind of came out of nowhere.
Yes.
I
Because
wish
Yeah.
the accent would have been like.
It's because we know what he sounds like without it, and you've already presented him
Yeah.
without it.
And
But
plus,
if we
it
could
was
be-
like Lana when she stopped talking with it. It's
Exactly.
like
It's like, but you know, or like when Kofi Kingston lost
yes,
the Jamaican accent.
that's the thing. Now,
And-
if he had
and-
come in with that, then that would be
you
totally
know,
different.
and props to Triple H for making that one joke on Bragg.
Oh, yeah,
on the
I
Raw
saw
before
that.
He's like,
bragging
weren't
rights.
you
Weren't you
Jamaican?
Jamaican? And
And Kofi just looked. Oh,
You
It
know-
was like my whole
no, I
career.
think, and I agree with what you're saying, but you have. This is my opinion, right? I've just always connected more to. I have always just connected more to. I hate using that word character, but I always just connect more to personas that, and it's that classic wrestling trope that's just turned up to 11. Like that's why Braun Breaker stands out because that is who he is all of the time. It's not not all the time, but like and like you were talking about with wrestlers having control. People don't know. Everybody was criticizing the WWE. Steiner's the one who came up with that name for
Yeah,
himself.
no, exactly.
He came up with Braun Breaker.
He
That
likes to
wasn't.
break things.
Yeah,
That's what he
but that's the thing. It's
But-
just like it sounds stupid, and then because the guy you see is just like, oh, he's committed to, like you said, he's committed to himself. People don't really trash the name anymore because it's like, well, I'm focused on the guy, not the name, you know. And whether we can argue Steve Austin could have done it as Otto Von Ruthless, which I don't think he could have. That name would have been too jarring. It's one of those things where it's like. When fans can tell that you're real, like they can tell about Sammy, because Sammy is a mystery in real life. He is Canadian, but he's also Muslim, and he's also like there's a lot.
He runs like the Sammy for Syria.
Yeah.
Like he's leftist. Like he's talked about how he supports Bernie Sanders. When Trump got elected as president, he instantly went on a rant about Trump.
Yeah,
He's a leftist, and I like his character because he runs at UNT students. You know, like they go around talking everything's a conspiracy. But. And also, I think character in wrestling is very much important as to why we gotta watch it, but I also think ability is. But let's review this card because
yeah,
that was
Yeah,
our original mission. And
we
so
kinda
let's get
got-
there, and then let's get to the rumor roundup. So the first match
yeah.
was Women's Chamber, and I already said it was highly disappointing. I think you should have had it longer than 15 minutes. I think both chamber matches
yeah.
being 15 minutes. I mean, 15 minutes.
Honestly, if
For
we're
an
gonna be
elimination.
honest, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I don't like the fact that women are in chamber matches. I just
I-
can't get.
I
I can't
actually-
get
No,
behind
I
it.
think-
I enjoy it. It brings
makes
a new
sense.
I
aspect.
enjoy it,
It
but at
makes
the same
sense.
time, it's
Right.
like, eh.
But like, it's because WWE doesn't care about the women's elimination chamber match.
No, they
Because
don't.
They're like, okay, well, they can't do spots because, well, the men have to do those spots.
But that's my
And
point.
that's the thing is, we don't give 50-50 spots to women and men. It's always
You
the men get all
shouldn't.
the spots and the women get no spots,
Yeah.
and that's messed up. I think the
You
women
can
should
give
be
the
in the
women.
chamber.
You can give women spots, but don't give them spots that, for instance, Survivor Series. Nia Jax's supposed to put Lana through the table again, and Roman was like, "Yeah, no, we've got a table spot. You're not
You
doing
can give
that."
women rights, but don't let them vote.
No.
That's what you're saying right
no,
here.
no, it's just one of those things
No.
where it's
That
like,
you cannot cut.
No,
That has-
no, you cannot cut
that
because
has to be saved.
that is the same thing you're saying to me, and I'm not.
Hey,
And
kind of,
okay,
and
and
I'm
Ryan,
kind of
Ryan,
with that.
don't you edit that out because you know what I mean. That no one, if anyone misconstrues that, you're stupid. I'm sorry, you're stupid.
No, I agree.
Because
though.
you understand what I'm
You
saying.
have to present both sides.
You have to
man,
present
or
both
else-
sides. You have to make both sides look strong. So yes, I think that's kind of an extreme idea because Roman is Roman, right?
yeah.
You can't take a spot away, right? But like, who's to say like that buckle bomb spot? Why couldn't that spot have gone? Like, why couldn't you do that spot twice, right? Why don't you give one to like Liv Morgan?
That
right?
I'm not
There's
knocking.
four
Like,
corners.
I'm not
You
knock-
can't
I'm
take
not
two.
Like, there's
knocking
four corners.
women
So,
doing
like,
that.
Exactly. So like, let's give more spots for these women. How about
I don't care
how
about that.
How about now that we've seen someone do a freaking F5 off the top of a pod, let's do a Spanish fly off the top of a pod.
I'm pretty sure they did that whenever they first introduced like the 7 when Alexa Bliss was champion. I'm pretty sure they did like that big thing.
I
from the
guess
top.
I don't know, but
Well,
like,
no, they all like jumped off the top.
The thing is,
but, like,
I didn't start watching pay-per-views consistently until like,
Yeah, no, I
like,
feel you.
nowadays,
but I'm saying
so I didn't.
to
I didn't
kind
see
of
that.
bring it back in, you kind of have to give them both.
Yeah.
something. You
I'm
can't
not-
just
so
say
that's what my
men
problem
is
was.
only this.
I also
or else
thought it
then
was
there's a big problem. Where it's like
awful.
we can't do bikini
Yeah.
matches
No,
anymore.
I-
so
dude,
it's like,
I am
it's
not-
Like we
Stop.
can't do
I
that.
thought it was awful that Nikki ASH just got out before everyone was out. I think in an elimination chamber match, you're kind of limiting yourself if you eliminate people before the last person comes out.
yeah.
Because you need to have everyone out
But
there
also,
for
it's
just
an
that.
enclosed. I don't know if you can have that many people.
No,
in
you
a-
can because
you
the-
can.
every
but, like,
chamber match until like this one, like until like the Shayna Baszler one had people in almost. Oh, and then the ECW one. Every match until the ECW chamber match had people come out and they were like everyone would come out.
Everyone was still. He's
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
You
everybody
You
was
have
still
to
there,
have
and I agree with
that's
that.
like,
Yeah.
Like the women's chamber felt like if you had a Royal Rumble where the most amount of people in the ring were 3 people, right?
Yeah.
And every time like a fourth person would come in, one of the 4 would be eliminated. It felt like the chamber matches again weren't, and then the women's chamber. Even though I knew Bianca was gonna win, everyone knew that. I'm
Yeah.
glad Bianca won. She's a freaking
Man.
star, right?
Right.
But
I knew she was gonna win, but Bliss, man,
Dude,
I just hate
I
that.
don't
Whenever
know.
I
somebody,
can see him liking Bliss. I can
what
see
would
him
the
liking that.
storyline be there between Becky and Bliss? We've
There's-
seen it 8 times already.
The
We're
thing
we're
is, man,
tired of
the
Bliss
thing is,
at
you
Mania.
introduce people, be like, oh my god, they're back, just to get not squashed. She didn't get squashed, but like just to easily just be written off
so
like that.
so like, should Rikishi win the Royal Rumble if he returns at the Royal Rumble?
No.
That's what your logic is right now.
No, it's not.
No, just because you return doesn't mean you should get an instant spot.
No, I
because
know
you know
that.
what? Guess who did that? Brock Lesnar. And look where we're at now.
That's what
Look
happens.
where
That's what
we
happens
are
when
at
That's
now.
what happens when
That's
they don't
what
make
you
stars.
get when people who come back get an instant title shot. We get tired of that. That's what AEW does as well, is that whenever someone comes in, they get an instant title shot. That literally legitimizes only that person and illegitimate. It's like, well, then what about us? We've been working our tails off for the past 5 months. Bianca Belair has been on Raw and SmackDown every week since she won that title. I'm sorry.
And
Bliss's
she's been the
character
highlight,
is at
man.
its worst.
They need
No
to fix.
one
They're
likes
putting
Bliss's
it.
character.
They're trying to put it back to
And
the
if
goddess,
you do, you're
but-
lying to me
No.
because you just have a crush on Bliss. Alexa
No,
Bliss
the
is
goddess
fake.
character is a great character. The one where they're still figuring out the Fiend, that's
Alexa
terrible.
Bliss just plays Alexa Bliss, but not in a good way. It's just I like her in ring capabilities.
Dude, she's-
never once cared about an Alexa Bliss promo because she always gets schooled by someone else in that promo. Even Eva Marie was washing the floor with Alexa Bliss on those
That was a
promos.
mistake.
Eva Marie.
You want to talk about that?
Eva Marie
that is-
was doing better promos than Alexa Bliss.
That's like Sable.
So here's your WrestleMania main Raw Women's title. So the women on SmackDown have Ronda Rousey against Charlotte, and you're telling me what Raw should do to compete against that is Alexa Bliss?
No, I don't care about brand battle. I'm just saying.
No, but you
I
gotta.
don't. I get it, but at the same time, it's
Bianca versus Becky is the perfect ending for Bianca's first ever major story. I don't care what y'all say. The first storyline between her and Sasha was not good. This is it.
That's true.
This is Bianca's star-building moment.
I will agree
She's
with
a,
that.
she
Yeah.
is a great
This
wrestler,
is
but
gonna
for
be-
me, that's just
This is
not
gonna
my...
be her John Cena winning the U.S. title off of Big Show. This is gonna
Yeah.
be her Batista against Undertaker. This is gonna be her moment, right? this is that's what they're booking this as, because Bianca is a star, and last year when she was going up against Sasha, she wasn't there yet. She wasn't exactly there. People were saying, "Oh, she's destined to be a star," but over the past year, I'm hooked on her. I think she's honestly the closest woman.
She's a great
that
wrestler.
that we're
I
gonna
will
get
give her
to
that.
John
However,
Cena.
I just
Oh, yeah.
She's gonna be more famous than Charlotte and Becky.
Yeah,
I assure you on that.
WWE, we're gonna
Charlotte
get
would be a hard
complaints
one,
5 years.
but
We're gonna get
Becky,
complaints.
I'll-
She'll
Becky,
be so
I'll see.
good.
Charlotte, I
We
don't
will
think
get
so.
complaints 5 years from now about how Bianca Belair is being shoved down people. So she's that good.
We're gonna get
in the ring, and plus she's very marketable. The EST thing is fantastic, and I think when you have someone who was an athlete, so they bring legitimacy to what you're doing, and she has been. And I've always compared it to that. In my opinion, Bianca reminded me a lot of, I've said this, of Kurt Angle, in the sense of you're from another sport and you gravitate toward the in-ring aspect. You're still working on the mic a little bit, but that's really not your fault.
I mean, look at Ronda.
No, see, the thing with Ronda is
Ronda has been disappointing me.
it's because she hadn't been
We'll
caring.
We'll get to that.
She has not been
I
caring.
guess it's enough. I mean, for the women's, the thing with the women's though is that anyone could have won that, and I would have been okay, right?
Yeah.
Anyone could have won that, and I would have been
Except
okay.
Nikki
but
Ash
but if you want to
or
make,
ASH.
I love Nikki Ash. I
Can't.
have.
We know, Jose.
Now,
you,
she got-
you like,
another story time.
She
another
got
story
me on
time.
TV, so I don't care. But
yeah, fair enough.
But Nikki Ash, I mean, the thing is, you can't make money off of that. You can't make money off of her against maybe Becky versus Rhea. If you care about Rhea,
I could see
Not
that.
anymore.
Not
With-
anymore.
with
At
Charlotte
where she
beating
first
Rhea
started.
up and
Yeah.
down.
Yeah,
Nah, it's
because here's the
over.
thing. I was at Money in the Bank, and when Rhea came out, she got some slight cheers, not a big crowd reaction.
No.
When Charlotte came out, Charlotte kind of did like that's how you get a reaction.
Because
Like,
Charlotte
and then
is just
at
that
the
good.
end of the match, there
Yeah.
was a
It's
double
more-
turn actually.
Yeah, there was.
People
yeah.
cheered Charlotte and booed Rhea, but sadly, because Dallas is Dallas, and only we did that. It didn't stay consistent.
Yeah.
But there was
Because IWC reaches everywhere, folks.
Yeah,
Because this
yeah.
is my thing with Charlotte. People want to knock her so hard for being good. I can't stand that in wrestling. It's like, what? Because she's just good? Because she walks like a star, talks like a star, and is a star? And
I just think that like
now the
She's-
Flair,
she's a-
I-
she's
I-
a great-
out of
getting all the
out
opportunities,
of
yeah,
the
but
four horsewomen, the most has always been Charlotte, because
yeah,
in the ring, the best in ring skills is either Bailey or Sasha.
I give it to Sasha. I love watching
the best
Sasha.
Sasha's
talker
amazing.
is definitely Becky.
Becky's definitely
the
the best
best
talker.
character
Bailey.
is definitely Bailey.
Bailey's, in my
The-
opinion, Bailey's the best promo out of
and
them.
then like the one with the most
No.
championships though is the blonde white one.
Yeah.
Hey man,
Like,
but she can
not the
wrestle
Latina, not the mixed Latina queen that we have in both Sasha and Bailey.
Yeah.
Not the Irish badass that we have in Becky. No, the white blonde woman who plays Ric Flair as a woman
Yeah.
is done with all the titles. And she's talented as well. I
Yeah.
love the Charlotte character. My roommates and I, her theme song has become a running gag within us. She's over, right?
Yeah.
But like out of the four horsewomen, and the reason people have a problem with her always winning is that she's not even the best out of the four.
It's not even that she wins. I think she gets a little more opportunities.
Yeah, she gets a
than
little
it should.
more.
Yeah,
like
but
when
what-
you
but
have an
what sucks-
opportunity to spread it around and be like, okay, you'll get your chance, but they're always just like, well, we have a vacancy. Charlotte, go get her, go win the title, and like just have it for a couple
Yeah,
months.
but like Charlotte has like had consistent one-on-ones at Mania. Bailey and Sasha have tag teams.
It's because they always
Yeah.
try to pin them against each other, and it's like
No,
we're sick and tired
I think,
of seeing
I
that.
think I said this at Mania. Just give us Bailey versus Sasha. Give them 20 minutes to blow
One
our minds.
and then never
and then
again.
and then never
just
again.
never again.
Yeah, just do that, and then Bailey and Sasha will only go up against each other if one is a champion, right? Just do that, right?
Yeah.
Because it's being like Bailey and Sasha in a 6-person 6-pack
Yeah.
to the death match. But
Yeah.
but if Bailey loses, she loses her title. Like and like at the end, it's always the will they hit each other?
Exactly.
Bailey
And
and
then, like,
Sasha.
or-
Yeah.
or they're trying to like tag, and then they're just like, no, screw you, and then you're like,
Yeah,
will they coexist? It's like, okay, I get it. We've seen this. Just give us the match
all
that
right,
we've
let's
been waiting.
move on from
Let's
the
move
women's
on.
elimination.
Yeah.
Because I gotta leave.
You're good.
4-4. All right, we're good. We still
We
got, a
should
lot
got
of
time. Which one was next? Because here they have it all out of order.
So it was the women's chamber, wasn't it?
Oh no, it was actually Roman. and
Roman was
Goldberg.
first.
Well, I mean, let's keep this short. That was a match.
Yeah.
It was a match that needed to happen just for publicity
Yeah.
and just to get money
It
from
was
Saudi
just
Arabia.
to add
That's
another
literally all it
name
was.
to Roman's
Exactly.
shirt.
Now you
Yeah.
talk about people being tired of seeing somebody. My God.
Goldberg.
I don't know whether they're chanting Oldberg or Goldberg in the crowd. To
In
be honest
Saudi
with you.
Arabia, they were chanting
Goldberg, you
but
know
in
that.
in
They
In
got
America-
actually got accents,
you know what?
man.
I'll say this: I was in Dallas and Goldberg came out. He gotta pop.
Yeah,
Like,
let's not act like he doesn't.
like
He
people
gets a
like
pop, but
Goldberg.
at the
they
same
do.
time,
They
it's
just don't like.
We just don't like him. Like I feel like if Goldberg would have just come back and do like just stand in the ring, yeah, heck yeah, like
Yeah,
you know,
but-
Goldberg's here, like you know, like bring Goldberg in just like a you know what, bring him on as a GM. I want to see that. I want to see Goldberg the GM. That would be funny.
Yeah.
That would be like a you smell that? A breath of fresh air
Oh
for
my
the
God.
Goldberg character. Just imagine Goldberg playing corporate Goldberg. That'd be hilarious.
I see Bret Hart having a heart attack
Like,
now.
like you write Goldberg as
The
PC principal,
heartbreak
right?
kid.
Yeah,
like,
oh, yeah.
like you have Goldberg as like a PC principal where he's just like, hey, did you just curse on the show? What did we say
You're
about
next,
that?
or you're on
Like,
the
you're
list.
next.
Yeah, you're next.
You know, and then he's like, you guys are talking about a match. Well, you're next up on SmackDown against The Undertaker. Like, you know,
Yeah.
just have him do that. I think that'd be funny.
but no, the match was what it was.
It was what
It
it
was a match that
Yeah.
needed
It's
to
Goldberg's
happen.
last match, apparently. And you know
I
what?
hope. Well,
A
I
good
don't hope,
ending
but,
to
like, for a
Goldberg's
good
career.
while.
It's a good.
No, like he's retired.
He's retired.
He's
There-
56.
there's-
We're not gonna get Goldberg at 67.
No.
I mean, we
fighting.
got Edge right now, guys.
We got Edge at 40.
Edge is Edge.
Edge is
And-
Edges, dude. He's working out. But
And
yeah, that's that.
Yeah,
Next
but,
match was
wasn't the-
Miz and Mysterio. No one watched it because I didn't know it was on pre-show.
me neither, and I didn't care.
I
Oh,
Oh, by the
actually-
way, Miz will probably be doing a job, which I know you hate, for Logan Paul. Just
no,
so you
it's
know.
gonna be Miz and Logan Paul versus Mysterio.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
and-
what they're doing.
and-
They're trying to bring him to
So what's gonna
Mania.
happen is they're gonna do the job.
Do a
and
job.
Then, and then they're gonna hit Logan Paul with 619.
Yeah, they're.
And
They're gonna be on
I'm
the
just
stupid,
like-
the 8. What is their show? Miz. Not
A,
Miz.
what a waste of Mysterio at Mania. Just give us Mysterio against Dominic.
yeah.
Would
B-
you rather have him in like the
B,
battle
are
royale?
we
or
kidding? Are you
whatever?
kidding me? Are we gonna keep doing Miz
Yes.
in a tag team match?
Yes.
It's just
It's better than.
I'm
Maurice,
starting to
man.
really think that Miz's character is just like Miz needs to say no for once.
He won't.
Miz needs to say no for once because it's just like this isn't interesting.
I think he's doing it
This
just
is
because
such
he
a-
has his TV show and everything else.
Yeah,
that
Look,
he
I
might not have
think Miz
time.
has just gotten to the point where he cares about the check he's getting at
yeah,
this point.
he's
Because that's why Miz got heat in the first place, besides being on reality TV.
Yeah.
It's because people could see through him. No, bro, you do not care about the business. You want to be famous.
no.
There's a difference.
No, he like y'all need to see the Miz 24/7. Like the Miz,
I will never watch that.
because okay, then you know what? Then you can't talk on the Miz and his mindset because
Yeah,
you don't
I
know
will.
I've
because
seen it.
because you don't know the Miz.
I will always talk on Miz and his
you don't
mindset.
know.
I will
You don't
always
know crap
do
about
that.
the Miz. That's like if I was said, you know what? Wrestlers don't care about wrestling. Do you think that guy goes out there every week, puts his ass on the line, gets body slammed, embarrassed in front of millions because he wants to get famous? No,
Bro,
no.
if you can't see that, I don't know what you're watching at this point.
You need to watch how much respect and how much. First of all, the best IC champion of all time. I don't care what
I
anyone
agree.
says.
I
Better
agree.
than Jericho. Better than Brian. Better than anyone else. Better than Cody.
I'm with that one.
Better than anyone.
Yeah.
The best IC champion of all time. The most entertaining heel of the past 10 years. You are spitting in the name of a guy
Yeah, I
who
will.
was at one point.
WWE heel.
WWE. No. Because MJF is a ripoff of Miz.
But he's doing it better. I'm
No,
sorry.
he's not.
In my opinion,
He's not
doing
because
better.
Miz doesn't need to curse and make insults about your mother or like a personal inside dick that only
Ooh.
people know to get over.
Ooh.
Miz just has to say, really,
Ooh.
really.
I gotta give Jose
And you know
that
what?
one.
Miz is over.
And I love MJF, but I gotta give
Miz-
Jose that.
Miz doesn't need to say jokes that only the internet fans get.
Yeah.
Miz
Yeah.
needs to go up there and say, really.
Miz is
And guess what? He has something CM Punk will never get. A WrestleMania main event. Because at one point, that guy was the highest selling t-shirt next to Punk. At one point, B
He
Miz was everywhere. I'ma just say it. People have disrespected the Miz for way too long. Because that guy is the best heel in the game. Is he a good wrestler? No. Is he a great personality? By far the best that we have put on in the past 10 years. Because
That I'll agree with.
I hate the motherfucker, so I can't disagree with you on that.
That's a big
You
one.
know? See, he's so good that people still think, is he trying to get famous like you? I watch this 24/7 and just seeing how much of a fan he was, because the reason he got famous was when he was on the Real World. He was already famous before WWE.
Yeah.
He didn't need the WWE. He never did. He was already famous. He was a reality show guy. He was on all the reality shows in the 2000s. He was on Real World. You know what his character was on the Real World? A guy who loved wrestling. A guy who said his dream in life was to be a wrestler.
All the stuff I'm
you know
aware
what?
of.
he took one of the weirdest ways to get there. Look at Paul Heyman. Why doesn't Paul Heyman get any hate? You know how he got into the business? He was a photographer.
Because Paul
Alexa
Heyman
Bliss
is a
signed-
great
No.
booking mind and a great talker. That's why.
And look at that. So is The Miz.
I'm
so
not
why
knocking-
doesn't The Miz get the same respect? Paul Heyman was a photographer who just wanted to do photography, actually. He just
A
wanted to...
lot of guys have been. Cornette was
Alexa
a
Bliss
photographer.
signed
No.
an online forum.
Cornette. You know how Cornette actually got in? His mother. His mother knew the promoter. She knew the mother of a promoter. I don't know which one. I always forget. And she got him in, and that's when he did the whole gimmick of, my mom got me into the company.
Cornette was a photographer first. He was a photographer.
Cornette is not a photographer.
No. The same thing you told me. Don't talk about something you don't know.
Man, as much as I ride for Miz, I forget how much you ride for Cornette. So it's like, and I'm not sure that's a diss. It's like
I know.
I get it.
Hey man, look. You know what? I'll do you a favor. I will watch Miz docs because I actually do want to learn more about Mike Mizanin. I know he's a fan.
Because there's a reason Daniel Bryan's only big rival in WWE
That is very
is The
true.
Miz.
Yeah.
Because God, did they love working together, and they're so good at their rivalry. I don't even know if they actually like
He
each
still
other.
has the it kicks,
Let me
man.
ask you this, because I feel like you're gonna say yes. Was the shoot promo that Miz did on Daniel on that SmackDown show better than Punk's pipe bomb? I feel like you're good.
No. I rewatched. I'm so disappointed to say this, but after rewatching Money in the Bank 2011, Punk versus Cena is my favorite match of all time.
I can't.
I mean, like I
can't knock you for that one.
rewatched the entire pipe bomb, and I put myself in the shoes of the fans, right?
Yep.
Nah, I mean just like how that era was and how much nostalgia. And here's the thing: I wasn't even watching wrestling during the pipe bomb. I wasn't. I was watching cartoons more and Pokemon. That was my Pokemon phase. It was 2011. So I never got to see the Punk pipe bomb. I only heard legend of it, right?
Yeah.
So I've seen it before, like in 2016 and 2015 when I was a mark, you know. But I used to praise it as amazing, but I never understood why it was amazing, because nowadays we're so used to like shoot promos. But when you think about how tired fans were of the product, and here's the thing: is I'll tell you an even more hot take. I don't even think the pipe bomb was Punk's best moment. I think his best run in the company was when he was with Nexus. Because when I was watching wrestling, very rarely in 2011, because 2011 was awful, I tuned in to watch him with Nexus. And him with Nexus, I remember there was one promo he did that actually I put over the pipe bomb promo.
Really? Yeah.
He was standing on top of the Titantron.
Yes, and he was acting like he was gonna jump, and it was like you
all would rather see a man jump to his death and splatter on the ground than talk. And I was like, as a kid,
yeah,
whoa,
I remember that.
like
yeah.
that was television. I was like, that's good crap, you know.
And that's how
but
he
yeah,
started his man.
Good crap, pal.
So
Good
yeah,
crap.
Miz and back to Miz and Mysterio. Two of my favorites of all time, Miz and Mysterio, who've actually had a really good rivalry in the past. Their 2011 rivalry for the WWE Championship, and also their 2012 Intercontinental rivalry was also
pretty good.
Mysterio and Miz worked together well, and I like that Miz and Mysterio are having like, I want to see a one-on-one match again at Mania, but without Logan Paul, or just have Logan Paul in his corner, and just have Dominic in Mysterio's
Now they're gonna
corner.
bring Logan Paul, KSI out there to start
Or
boxing.
give Dominic to Miz, you know, like, give Dominic his first big Mania win.
Yeah.
And you know what? Because then that would make sense. A tag team match. I hate tag team matches, first of all. I'm sorry.
You're not alone in that.
I
They're
hate
boring.
tag team matches that aren't an
That's
actual
why
tag team.
Vince hates them too. He's like
they're not. First of all, you have to pay 4 guys.
Yeah, and Vince is like they don't draw.
Yeah, they don't draw. I mean, when have you ever been hyped for a tag team match that didn't involve ladders?
Yeah,
Whenever
involving
when it was the peak of the Usos and the New Day, that was a good one.
I
That
mean,
was
you know
like
what?
the
I'll give
peak
you.
of
Those are
that.
good matches, right?
But to Jose's point,
you put
they
that
were
on a-
still gimmick matches,
Like,
like street fights and Hell in a Cell.
like
and-
you need a gimmick to make a tag team, and then like you look at how AEW does tag teams. They don't even tag each other in.
Not,
like,
and even when they do, it's not proper.
Halfway through the match, it's like, who even is the legal man? And then like one time, I was watching did you watch the Jungle Boy versus Ray Phoenix tag team match?
I did, yeah.
Okay, I want to say this about that match, right? Ray Phoenix, the guy who broke his arm, was actually the legal man.
Yeah, he was. He was legal.
He was the legal man at the end. That match was like, again, AEW does not know how to do tag team matches because halfway through they just do a tornado tag. Just do tornado tags. People don't care about tag team matches. A tornado tag is more fun than a tag team match because we like to see 4 men in the ring.
Yeah.
Not, will he
The
Yeah,
desperation tag.
plus they
yeah.
don't do it right because the heel is all the way
Yeah.
over there and the face is over here,
yeah,
and
it's
it's
like-
like
They do the clap, and then you're like, sitting there like, oh my god, just stop this! I don't care.
Don't forget the string wrapped around.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then-
Oh. And then the good guys on the left and the bad guys on
Yeah.
the right. You know.
No, so let me ask you this because I'm actually curious about this. So you work with an indie promotion,
Yeah.
and would you say that people would get offended when they see what goes on in somewhere like AEW and they have those tag team
know-
matches where nothing pays attention and they go, well, that's indie wrestling?
I talked to Brian Keith,
Yeah.
and Tank Man, right? And I said, you guys have so much character that in a show where almost none of the audience really knew what your storyline is, you guys told a story, and Brian Keith did in a tag team match. And I freaking hate tag team matches. And
Yeah.
that tag team match was awesome because, you know, the way they did it, and I even talked about this, like, do people, how many times a day do you get the talk of go to TV, go to AEW, go to WWE? They're like, all the time. And I'm like, what would you rather do? And they're like, to be honest with you, this. And I'm like, heck yeah, right? You know, they do talk about how it's annoying that the indie style gets a diss, but there's two versions of the indie style
Yeah.
that people don't seem to realize. Something that I talked about with Deranged. Deranged style, he always loves to talk about the Code of Honor, right? The Code of Honor from Ring of Honor, for those that don't know,
Yeah.
was a set of rules that you had to follow in
Yeah.
every match. You had to shake hands, you know, couldn't do any strikes to the head, I think. Like, there was a lot of rules. And Deranged was a part of a tag team that, you know, was against the rules, though. Like, they didn't do it. So, like, that's what they were heel. But we talked about, like, the importance of keeping psychology. Because with the Young Bucks is, like, and, like, because, like, people think, because when people think of, like, the indie style, when they want to crap on it, they think of Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. And that's, first of all, dissing on Kenny Omega is, like Omega's a great wrestler.
Yeah,
The
he's-
Young Bucks
Yeah,
aren't.
he's good.
Omega in Japan was amazing.
Yes.
Because he had to fight under the Japanese style.
Yes.
When he fights in his Young Bucks, you know, elite
American
style,
elite
American
style.
elite style, it just looks fake, and it just seems like there's a spot every 3 minutes. So, and I mean, and I'm not lying. I watched that 5-star match between the Lucha Bros and the Hype and the Young Bucks, and that match with casuals, right? I watched it with casuals. I know people say, well, you're not supposed to watch AEW with casuals. It's the alternative. It's when you're a real big
No,
fan,
you're
right?
supposed.
You're
You should
supposed
watch.
to.
You should watch
should be
any
able to watch
wrestling with casuals.
casual, right? So I watch, you know, that's like saying, oh, you can't watch the NFL because you don't watch college football. And it's like,
Right.
no, screw
Yeah.
you. It's like, no. So we're watching this match with the Young Bucks, and they're like, when will this match end?
Yeah.
Like,
Are you talking about like the cage match
it's been
they
30
had?
minutes. Like, these guys have jumped off. They've kicked
Yeah.
each other in the face. Like, what's going on here? Like, when's it gonna end, Jose? And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
They've already pulled out the
Like
big
they've
moves.
Yeah.
pulled out everything.
Because
like,
that's what the Bucks do. They like to try to keep them. That's why they buried FTR.
yeah.
Because they try to keep themselves over. That's why when Dynamite they were starting every show, doing every move,
Yeah.
and they would burn the fans out, and then
and like that's the thing is like you have a guy like, you know, Cody Rhodes.
rumor
say
roundup,
that.
my boy.
Cody Rhodes, who fights in a really dope kind of old school WWE mixed with like a technical, because that guy's a technical, like he was a college.
He was
a
an
high school
amateur wrestler. Yeah, that's
So,
how
like,
he met Xavier Woods. Yeah,
Cody Rhodes was incredible. Like he was insane, like insanely talented. In WWE and in AEW. I mean, say what you want about Rhodes, but he had really good matches. And
out of the EVPs, Cody Rhodes was the best wrestler.
you know what? And now here's the thing. And now I'm eating my words because I didn't get into Cody Rhodes as a person or a character until I watched Rhodes to the Top, when I actually saw what he had to do. And coincidentally, I saw Rhodes to the Top a week before he left the company. And now I'm like a Cody mark, sadly.
Are you a brand?
After 2 years of hating the guy?
You were
like,
Brandy Mark too?
I think she's so nice. I think she's so.
I don't think anybody's against her
Like,
as
I just
being
feel
nice. I
like-
just think people think she's egotistical.
What? I mean, yeah. She's the first black woman EVP in wrestling. Let her be egotistical.
I don't have anything against
She
Brandy
is
as
a
far as like I
queen.
don't want to see
And
her
she's
on
hot,
TV
but-
and I don't care.
But,
Yeah, that's
but
true.
like, you know what? If she's not on TV, I think one thing I liked about Rhodes to the Top when I watched it is she wanted to be a heel. She was like, Cody, no one buys me as a face. Just make me a heel.
That's what I do give her credit for. You know, as much as
She was a realist.
she
and
was,
that is
yeah, very
something-
much so.
And you know what? she was also there for the women in that company. If no one was representing those girls, because you know who was like doing the most of like Jade, like who you know was really pushing for Jade Cargo? Brandy
Yeah.
and Mark Henry. But when you watch, I'm sorry, but after watching Rose to the Top,
You can't hate them like everybody else.
I hate them. I can't like.
That's why I like
just
having you
seeing-
here.
Just seeing Cody like
He
as a
balances it out.
Well, no, because
As a
you get these
person.
perspectives from people. Like I said, I listen to Cornetto, I listen to Conan and Disco Inferno. You're probably gonna bash me for listening to those
Disco
guys.
Inferno.
No, I don't agree with Disco, but I listen
He's
to him.
crazy, dude.
No, but
he's insane. He
but-
acts like he was a draw. Like that's what I say. Like I'm like, God, shut up! Like you act like you're a draw.
Yeah,
Disco Inferno.
But that's why I like having Jose here, and that's why Miss Daniel is just because you get these perspectives. Because I don't like to look at wrestling as theater, as an acting performance. Being an actor myself, I like to look at it as a sport. But when I hear Jose talk about, well, yeah, you got, because like to be honest with you, and this is just my opinion, even though I'm listening to Cornette, I see what they're doing with Adam Cole as in terms of.
no, I'm disappointed.
No, I'm disappointed too, but I can see what fans would think when it's like, oh, it's kind of like Hangman, and like they're gonna beat him up for a year, and then he's gonna become the Adam Cole that we thought we knew, and all
But,
that
like,
other nonsense. I'm not saying I support
You know,
it.
like
but-
what I don't understand about Adam Cole and like how they're booking him, right? Is like you have this product, this guy who just killed it for a year on
Yes.
this brand. He's been in developmental brand. I mean, put him in against Bryan Danielson.
Yes.
Put him in against, against what's his freaking name? Against Hangman on the Page. The second he gets in there, right? Put him in there against
Top
John
talent.
Moxley.
Top
I
talent.
like
Darby Allin even.
Top
Darby Allin.
talent.
Like, listen, I like Orange Cassidy. I understand the character. I get it why, and that's because I like comedic wrestling. And he is a mid card guy to get the people over. But Adam Cole isn't a mid card talent.
No, you.
Adam Cole should not start at the mid card.
No.
He's already being placed in the elite. This
Yeah.
guy should have been your replacement for Kenny Omega while he's out for injury. This guy should have been the guy who should have imploded the elite.
Yes.
This guy's main rivalry should have been him against the Bucks. That should have been his first debut rivalry. Is you guys screwed me over when I left for another company. Not, oh, we're all smiling friends.
Yeah, and then-
I never forgave you.
But see,
Hey, at
once
least
again,
you
but-
didn't have no too sweet in there.
But
Here's Undisputed Era. We'll give you Undisputed Era, even though for the past year
they've been beating Bobby Fish like a drum,
they've been like,
and Kyle O'Reilly has not had a singles
And
debut at all.
Kyle O'Reilly betrayed him. Like they hated each other. Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. They were in a rivalry, right?
And now
the
they're
Undisputed Era broke up. That's like if the they did do this. It's like if the NWO broke up
yeah,
and then they brought them back together because they already did that, right? It didn't work.
it really
It
didn't.
didn't work because we already saw how the NWO.
It was also like DX when everybody wanted them to see them together, but it was like when Triple
Oh,
H
yeah,
and Shawn
that
had that
reunion,
great
yeah.
rivalry, and then in 05,
They
that
were
was like
just
02,
buddies again,
They were
yeah.
buddies, and everybody was like, "What?"
Yeah, but
like,
but here's the thing: is that was like 4 years after,
Yeah.
right? This was like a month, like 3
Like
months
3 months
after,
ago.
like,
But see,
like,
that-
they
They were
had
like, hey, bro, I'm sorry.
Bro, they have this match, right, where it's like the end of all ending, a 2 out of 3 falls match, 3 stages of hell. Winner is the best Undisputed Era member
Yeah.
of all time. Kyle O'Reilly finally gets over the dragon that is Adam Cole. Hey, buddy, we're back on a different company.
Mm.
We're best friends.
yeah, no,
It's like if you're gonna bring wrestlers in, keep their canon,
Yeah.
keep what they've built. Why the heck is Adam Cole? And here's another thing: is they don't know how to book Adam Cole as a heel either.
No, they
because
don't.
Cole comes out against Hangman on Page, the good John Cena of AEW. Hangman on Page. Here's Adam Cole, this guy who's narcissistic, a jerk, full of himself. He's just as evil as his white wife, right?
The whole way to throw
He
that
comes-
in there.
it took me a while to think
He
about who he's
comes-
talking, and then it's Brit. Yeah,
He comes out, right? And then he's like, Adam Page, everyone knows you're a good champion. Why would you compliment him?
Yeah.
Why would you? Y'all were enemies too before you left for WWE.
Yeah, that was
Why? Why would the first thing he said compliment? And that's why I can't take the World Championship freaking seriously
No.
in AEW, because the people come out and they're like, you're a great champion. Oh, let's hug each other and kiss, and let's all be friends. Oh boy.
No, I mean,
you know, and then yes, Adam Cole later saved it and kind of just said like, "Oh, you betrayed the Dark Order." I liked that. That was cool. But right there, you bring Adam Cole out, and the first thing he says is, "You compliment the champion." No,
yeah,
stop doing this. Everyone is friends in the backstage.
yeah.
and
Everybody's
everyone
friends,
is,
and everybody knows
and no
it.
one actually hates each other in there, guys. don't worry, they don't actually hate each other. On the Being the Elite vlog, they're hugging each other.
Oh my god,
like-
yeah.
Little do they know sometimes. they
Because that's
actually
what
do.
Omega did when everybody was like, "So we heard the EVPs from this week." Oh, that wasn't true. It's like, bro.
No, and then Omega like kind of confirmed that the EVPs.
No,
didn't like
that was
Cody.
the thing. He tried to say they
in that
weren't.
radio interview.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, yeah, that wasn't true," and everyone's like, "Okay, now we kind of know." And because
Yeah.
if you watch, I know you watched Rose to the Top. Did you see Bucks and Omega anywhere in there?
Never.
They didn't
Almost
want to be.
Never.
And I think with Adam Cole, and this may be getting too deep, but I think once again, it's one of the EVPs. We're not gonna name names. They see this top talent getting in here, and it's not like people like Punk or Bryan who can book themselves because that's what they're doing.
Like no, you cannot. You cannot book
Punk is
Bryan.
booking himself,
Here's
and
the
Bryan's
thing, though.
booking
Another
himself.
thing is they've also watered down the CM Punk. Now up until MJF, what was Punk doing? Like,
I've heard Conan talk about this.
like-
He said he's
Yeah.
been disappointed with Punk because this is not.
He's just coming back. Hey, Chicago.
If you want to make an
hey, Maryland.
if you want to make an argument, I would argue if you want to go Johnson of AEW, it kind of is Punk
I mean, it was kinda like what
technically.
they did with
If you
Ronda.
think
They
about
didn't
it,
book her in a match, they just kinda
and then
just-
Punk's like, I'm gonna put over the young talent by beating
them. Yeah,
It's like, but then, like, what is the point?
That's
of
what I'm
you-
saying.
Like,
It's-
like, for example, Punk should not have beaten Daniel Garcia. Why? Because Daniel Garcia has UFC, mixed martial arts experience.
I could see
And
that
when
in
we
his
saw Punk in the
presentation.
mixed martial arts, he got his ass beat.
Yeah,
So that makes that kind of kills Daniel Garcia's character because the guy who went to UFC got his ass beat by like two mediocre
Didn't he go
fighters.
like 0-2?
Yeah,
he
he
my
went
God.
0-2, yeah.
Both knockouts.
Yeah.
Right? And then this Daniel Garcia fellow, this guy
Damn,
who's
AJ
like, I'm
Lee, couldn't
hard. I'm
protect
like,
him.
I'm the Katsuyori Shibata of America. I'm a mixed martial artist. Womp, womp. You lose to Punk. Womp, womp. You know, it's
yeah.
like
Honestly, I don't like how they've been using Powerhouse
then
Hobbs either.
Punk against,
had
and
to-
then every Eddie Kingston promo is the same, by the way. Oh, I hate you. You a clown. Oh.
I always know
And
that
then- and
Jose
then-
has
and
never liked Eddie
And
Kingston.
then the security guards come out and they start pulling them away from each other.
Yeah.
Every Eddie Kingston art promo. I'm just pooping on the characters I don't like seeing weekly. I like
Yeah.
Eddie Kingston. I just think they could do so much more with him.
I would
honestly
love for
think-
Jericho to get
here's
off
the thing.
TV again.
I don't like that wrestlers on that show can write their own promos because there's so much egos back there. Because when Vince writes you a script, you know it's a script, so you have to just say whatever Vince says.
Yes.
You don't actually mean it. But when the guys make their own promos and they say mean things to each other, well, that's not nice because what if you actually
Yeah.
mean that?
No, and I-
it's like
That's when it's the best. Is when it's like
Yeah.
a
But
subtle
no,
backhand,
you know what?
and you're
You know
like,
what?
damn.
but
But
like,
it goes back to Jose's
we gotta
point.
go back to the
Jason Chambers, it's wrestling. It's what happens. But real quick, that goes back to Jose's point about Miz and MJF. Miz can take a Vince script and get over with it.
Yes.
MJF, and I love him, but he has to cuss and he has to say things and he has to make sexual innuendo jokes and stuff like that.
It's like you're just Miz but Adult Swim. You know. You're
So
just-
basically, like Roddy Piper,
Yeah.
but like, yeah,
you know, like and back to the Elimination Chamber, like, you know, Miz had like the match that the only match people actually liked that show. People like the Lita match.
which I love
they
that
thought
Lita
that was
match.
the match of the night.
I give it that.
I thought it was a nice
To
ending.
be fair, look
I
at the matches
liked-
that were on the match card.
Like
You don't really
I was
have a
on my
lot.
phone. It was also a 12-minute match. Like no match went over 15 minutes,
No.
which is weird, because like
yeah.
that was
surprised.
very weird. And also, I mean, I think the reason we're going off topic so much is because this just
No,
very-
the reason we're
Ronda
going
and-
on.
to put it
Naomi.
bluntly, this was not a good pay per view.
No,
like it was the one time I watched a pay per view. I sat there and I said, "Wow, like
Well,
I
my question is,
feel
why
robbed."
did they make
Yeah.
Ronda have her hand tied? Why did she do a John Cena match?
Well, because the story was Sonya had her arm still messed up from when Ronda
Then
put
was
it
a
out.
fake.
It's
and then it
because
was fake.
You wanna know why? It's because like they wanted Ronda, who kind of has a lot of ring rust.
A lot, yeah.
You just kind of put her in a match where, oh, she's an arm tie. That's why she can't do all these moves
That's fair.
correctly.
Yeah.
And then you have Naomi. I'm sorry. Where does Naomi fit in here? All I know is
Hey,
the rivalry
hey.
with
Hey, she's hot, and on top of that, she's getting TV time, and she's a good performer and a good personality. Hey, I'm all for.
I got
I'm
nothing
for
against
it, but I'm
Naomi.
all for- But
Hey,
there's no story
Hey,
for her.
no, there is. They're telling you.
Yeah, that's like
That's gonna.
They
be her
did give
WrestleMania match.
Naomi. I know you'll disagree with this, but they gave Naomi spot to Ronda.
I mean, but like that's okay.
Yeah,
it was-
yeah.
I mean, everyone knew that the like okay before Ronda was announced for the Rumble through freaking
Yeah, they
Leaks.
ruined
They're
it.
pretty
They
much
were like-
everybody.
They
Through
were like,
leaks,
she
right?
might come back.
the winner of the Royal Rumble was supposed to be Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
But before the injury to Sasha, and the injury to no Bailey was about to come back.
Yeah.
Before the injury to Sasha was supposed to win the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
And that was supposed to be the 4 horsewoman, match. The main event for night 1 was, hey, at WrestleMania freaking 32, we had the 3 of them here, right? Now we're at 38. These are their final evolution forms. Sasha's on TV. Becky's on God
Yeah.
mode, right? Like
Yeah.
Charlotte is slowly becoming the greatest women's performer of all time.
Yeah.
Championship wise. Not
Championship-wise.
like, And then Bailey still got a lot to prove.
Oh yeah.
I
don't even think Bailey has reached.
Bailey has still
I don't even think she's.
Bailey has the
They at
longest
least figured out her
Bailey has the
character.
longest
They at
SmackDown
least-
Women's Championship reign
Yes.
in history. Like, these are women.
There's a
who-
reason they gave her that.
It's like, who is it? Who is the best of the 4
they're still
horsewomen?
trying to figure that
And
out.
so
Yeah.
I feel though this match is perfect for Hollywood. But the thing is that you still kind of have Ronda there, and if you want to give Ronda a WrestleMania match, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to see Ronda versus Becky at Mania. I think Ronda versus Becky at SummerSlam would be a perfectly good fitting into that storyline. Give me Ronda against Shayna. Shayna
That's
wins.
what I wanted. I wanted
You give
Ronda
Ronda
and Shayna.
against Shayna. Shayna wins, and finally you give Shayna that big win that she needed.
Cause she can. They were trying to make her.
Hey,
like,
I'm
she was
never
a
gonna be against
badass
two.
in
I'm never gonna
NXT.
be against two shooters having a match.
Like honestly, like put him in a steel cage match. Like that would have been
No
a dope.
holds
You know what?
barred.
Let them just
Could
go
do that.
at it. Like
Yeah.
don't even like keep kayfabe. Let them actually hit each other. Because like they're
Or false
such
count anywhere.
they're such good friends that they would work an incredible match. I think that
Yeah, I
when
agree,
you
yeah.
put Ronda in an environment with I bet she's friends with Charlotte and Becky, but
she
I know she wants that Shayna match.
she
I
does.
know she
that's
does.
that's the reason she's on SmackDown is
Yeah.
because she wanted to be where Shayna was, and
Yeah.
she wanted to be with Natty and
also-
Charlotte, and with
I
Roderick.
never
She's gonna help get
realized-
Roderick
I never
over too.
realized how much the locker room loves Shayna Baszler. Like
Shayna's really cool.
Like I always thought she was like a quiet person. But
No.
she was at Mia Yim's wedding. Like she
Yeah.
plays video games. Like
she plays video games with
like
Austin.
Shayna as
Like
a person has gotten me to like Shayna Baszler.
she's
more
pretty
than-
cool.
Yeah.
It's just the Bliss thing, which I know you hate.
Yeah, I honestly am gonna say like Baszler, give her against Ronda, finally give her that big dub, and now you can build her as a women's champion.
Which I wanted them to do for a while.
Because
I
they-
really
they
like
needed
I
to.
really like Shayna.
Shayna's dope, but she's the only one left out of the 4 UFC horsewomen in the company left. The other 2 got fired, and
And one of them's in AEW.
Yeah.
I like how Marina Shafir thinks her career will be any different there. But
no, it wasn't her fault. She was released.
No, I know. I don't have
think-
anything against
I
Marina
think-
at all.
I think what happened was she signed there because it was again like that's a girl who can't go back to UFC.
No.
So it's like, oh, how am I gonna make money? I don't want to be an indie wrestler.
No, I don't mind her going
yeah.
to AEW. It's just her career trajectory is not going to change.
Yeah, that's what sucks. And
She's-
I don't think she signed there to become a star.
no.
I think
she
I
just
think
needs
she
work.
She just needs work, and I think that eventually Ronda's gonna be like, "Hey, Vince, I want my people back."
Yeah.
And then Vince is gonna be like, "Hey,
Like I said, I mean, she's going to help get Roddy over because she
Yeah.
her and Roddy trained together because of Marina and stuff like that. So she's going to help Roddy too.
yeah." So I mean, like it helps people, right? But Ronda right now, I've always been interested in Ronda Rousey's character in wrestling.
She's not a wrestler.
and she's
man.
always had
She's a
it-
boxer,
yeah.
kick fighter.
And she's had the best matches in women's history as well. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like her match against Natalia. If you guys rewatched that match
Yeah.
on Christmas
Yeah.
Raw,
I did. I watched it.
It was
Yeah.
good.
it was actually better than like most Charlotte matches. Like, and that was Natalia. Now that also made me go think Natalia versus Aaliyah. I'm more excited to see that because of that match. Natalia versus Aaliyah is also like a match that people aren't really talking about, but I'm excited for that because it's gonna get Aaliyah over. And Aaliyah's character, although she's getting there, I can't hate her. She's one of us.
Yeah,
She had a
I
YouTube-
remember
she
we
had a
talked
YouTube
about it.
channel dedicated to wrestling in 2011. No, I'm sorry. You're forever a face, in my opinion. Now, what I do hate, why are y'all doing a romance line with her and a romance storyline with her and Ricochet?
Yeah, I
These
saw
have never gone well for the women. These
That-
have never helped the woman go over.
That's Paulie. Paulie likes those romance storylines. Paulie has done that. That's the Bobby Lashley Lana. That was Paul.
That was
That-
the worst.
That
I
was
hated
Paul. Paul.
It's
Heyman can book, but when he does those romance
Yeah,
storylines,
You know who I'm still waiting for? Lacey Evans. I'm still waiting for
Eh,
Lacey Evans.
I'm
Good
iffy.
God, I'm so glad she's not on TV. My God.
I think
she has never
she
ever.
can wrestle,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
nasties. Oh God, shut up.
It gives her something,
She's
man.
just an off-brand Charlotte. Like her look and her like wrestling style. I've never cared about her. She is so bored. She has X-Pac heat. I don't like. I don't hate her as a person. Great mother. You know?
Yeah, no.
Great mother. She's a
Good
Marine.
person,
She's a
yeah.
hero. But she's the Miz of the women's division. She's like.
I thought that would be a
dig
good
it.
thing for
I
you.
dig it,
No,
though.
but,
I
like,
like her character.
She takes
I
those
like
parts
it.
of the Miz that people don't like, the corny storylines, the dumb,
I hated the Ric
the
Flair
dumb-
baby thing. That
the
was
dumb
the stupidest thing.
catchphrases, you know.
Yeah.
But like, you know, Miz has good catchphrases. Like
He
I
does.
said,
Really?
really, or be Miz, you know, or man, I
Or
love Miz.
it's a when my hand goes up, your mouth goes shut.
I mean, you remember that? You nasty.
Yeah, that-
How
that-
the heck was that gonna get over?
She is something else. I'm forgetting it right now.
Like-
You're
No,
just
I-
helping your point, but
Yeah, like Lacey Evans. Ever since she debuted,
she was the real lady. I
Oh,
liked it,
my
man.
It-
I
it
know.
was-
I
it was
digged
the-
it.
You know who?
It
You
was
know
the
who did it first and did it better? Ivory.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ivory.
Ivory did.
And
When
Ivory-
Ivory came out at the Royal Rumble, oh my God! I think I was like, dude, sign Ivory. Sign Ivory. I
Dude,
don't-
Ivory, she doesn't get a lot of. She was an incredible worker and an incredible
Oh, yeah,
talker. I
incredible
loved
talker.
Ivory.
Ivory, like when she came out, started dissing everyone. What Lacey Evans should do is just do right to censor again.
Pretty
Just-
much.
Just do that again. And
Yeah.
yeah, like you know what? But that's the thing is, if you're really right to censor, you're gonna need some edge on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Or Raw. So you can't really do that. But
no,
Lacey
no. They're
Evans
trying to do that with Joe
set-
Gacy in
oh,
NXT.
but that's working because he's like a Bray Wyatt, like you know.
I
like,
will give you that because everybody's knocking. I'm like, I kind of
Yeah.
like the way this
no,
guy.
like the way he's
the way
creepy
he's-
about it,
he's-
and the way he words, and the way. No, it's a new Wyatt family, and like I like him. I think
I don't have anything against
I think
him.
he's funny.
Like we talked about over the phone, people try to knock NXT 2.0 a lot, but they're really not.
like oh, you know, here's a problem I saw over the weekend.
yeah,
Why can't WWE build new stars? And I sat there and I said, they are
they are.
on
NXT
NXT
2.0,
2.0,
yeah.
the same show that you called crap because they fired all the guys I liked from the indies. I mean, you guys don't care about Braun Breaker. You guys don't care about Austin Theory.
No.
You guys don't care about Dominic Mysterio.
Austin Theory's actually
Carmelo
grown.
Hayes.
And Austin Theory.
He's grown.
I-
He's gonna get a push. He was the last one in the ring with
I
Brock.
watched Raw and I was like, wow.
Theory is
Wow.
Theory's a prodigy,
Wow.
man.
I like it though. I
Theory
like,
is
I like
a
his
prodigy.
gimmick
No.
with the selfies.
He's
after-
dope. Like,
I dig
Theory,
it. Actually.
that's the reason he's getting.
Yeah.
What you're saying right now is why he's getting that push is because Vince sees that he connects
Like,
with our demographic,
yeah, like,
and
I'm like, wow.
he's like, oh, we're
Yeah,
pushing
he's
this
dope.
kid.
Like, I like Austin Theory. You know who else I like? I like Braun freaking Breaker.
Oh, that's
you know, I
Didn't
like Carmelo
Ciampa come
Hayes.
up
I like
too?
Tony.
I lo-
I
I-
like you on TV, Tony D'Angelo.
There you
Yeah.
go.
people knock his gimmick for being overly like Bruce Pritchard, like WWF '90s, but I like
miss those.
I like Tony
my,
D too.
My buddy, right? My buddy Mason.
Yeah.
He loves wrestling, but he says, I think that we need another crappy era of gimmicks because, man, was IRS more memorable than Adam Cole. I'm kidding. No, but IRS is more memorable than Timothy Thatcher's time in WWE.
Yeah,
IRS
that's true.
was more memorable than a lot. You know, it's like those dumb gimmicks, they stay in the back of your mind.
That's
That's
true.
why we're still talking about Repo Man.
30
years
The
after.
Hurricane.
That's why we're still talking about Barbarian.
Even
Mantar.
Even then, Ultimate Warrior. Ultimate Warrior was a horrible wrestler, but that gimmick.
Yeah,
It works,
I feel
man.
like
Everybody-
I feel like
because Vince was able to work mass hypnosis,
What
but
NXT
it worked.
Yeah, what NXT 2.0 is doing is they're recreating the new generation, right? But in the modern twist with great technical wrestling.
So, so because we're gonna agree on this, what part of this is IWC and what part of this is reality?
It's all IWC. It's all IWC. Every wrestler that I've met at that indie show, and I said NXT 2.0, they're like, wow, they're like, that's the best show on TV right now.
Dude, they're
It
not
is.
wrong.
A lot of people
That is,
agree,
dude,
yeah.
And you know
in
what?
all honesty, that is the only wrestling show I'm like, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to Nikita Lyons' debut this week. I'm looking forward to seeing Carmelo
Yeah.
Hayes. I'm
And
looking
it's a
forward
development
Ziggler,
brand. It's
Ziggler and Ciampa. I want to see NXT 2.0 is the only show I want
is
to
the
watch.
best show. And Raw is a good second. Now people are saying, well, where's Dynamite? I put Dynamite at third. Actually, I put Rampage maybe at third. Dynamite and SmackDown are in a little slope right now.
Yeah.
On a little slope.
They don't have a lot to work with.
It's just because.
Well, not even that. AEW's got a lot to work with, but they only want to appeal to their niche audience.
No. It's not that. It's just, I think Tony is really showing us that we're in a tweener session. Like,
Really?
Like we're in
Yeah.
a tweener era, and that's why that's kind of why the only reason we're watching is because of the debuts is because we're in a tweener. And
Yeah.
I don't want to say that Adam Page is a tweener, but the World Championship just needs to go to MJF.
Yes.
I think that's the guy
I
who's
agree.
who's the reason people are tuning in.
It is.
And I think they really crapped the bed with, well, now at Revolution, you're going to go up against CM Punk again in a dog collar match. Okay, well, if MJF loses, well, there goes all his hype.
Yeah.
If,
And if Punk loses,
well, then that's okay.
yeah.
Because that's
Punk
he's
is
doing.
Punk.
Because he's
Yeah.
doing what he
doing-
said he was
he's
going to do.
Putting over. If Punk wins, I'm gonna actually maybe stop watching AEW because it storyline wise. Why?
Yeah, no,
Like,
I,
Punk
it's
doesn't
'cause
need
it's
to beat.
because
It's storyline versus money, man.
No,
That's
what-
just-
No,
what-
it's look at this.
I respect that.
Punk doesn't need to beat MJF.
No, he
MJF
doesn't.
needs
I know,
to
but
beat
you
Punk.
know how they think.
Yeah,
With
Us, we
AEW,
like-
with Tony, one of the biggest things is Tony Khan is a money mark. And not only that, it is like, and I respect your opinion, but it is sometimes like he books matches like a kid playing with action
yeah.
figures.
And the interesting thing is he also books him in a way where like whoever loses here is screwed.
Screwed, yes.
Whoever loses in this situation is screwed. Like what? Like why are you doing this?
That's why we had to get MJF and Jericho over and over because Jericho's like, no, I have to go over, and people were just like, dude, let MJF
like,
go over, dude.
Hey guys, why don't we put Bryan Danielson up against Kenny Omega, and then first match for the championship? Why? Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Why?
Why? Why would you? I mean, yeah, great match, but for the championship, everyone knew that Bryan was gonna lose
Yeah.
because it was gonna be Hangman Adam Page was gonna end it.
Because Tony Khan is booking wrestling like he's playing with his
Okay,
action
let's
figures.
start wrapping it up here. 'Cause
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Cody Rhodes. Let's talk about Cody
Yeah,
Rhodes.
because no one cares about the chamber at this point. Cody Rhodes.
That's
I mean,
all you
nobody
need to know,
does.
guys.
Nobody
That's all
cares.
You need to know. Elimination Chamber garbage.
Cody Rhodes. If I'm being
I
honest,
don't know what he's gonna do.
I'm
I don't
not.
know what
He's
they're
going to
rumoring.
WWE.
No, I know
That's-
that. What are they rumoring him to do though for WrestleMania or anything?
I don't know. He'll be an upper mid card guy there. He's not going to win the world title. I mean,
Obviously.
that Vince.
Then you have
Vince is not
Austin
putting that.
coming in, I guess, against
Yeah,
KO
Austin-
and Sammy.
I bet you that was one of the main things that got KO to say like, we'll give you a match with Austin, and KO was like, oh. Yes.
it'd be nice,
And plus,
battle the
I saw
stars.
this, and when I saw this, I immediately thought of Jose. I
Yeah.
saw this YouTube comment, and it said Austin's last match is against a guy with Owen in his name, and I immediately thought,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, that's what
That's
I immediately
awesome.
thought of Jose. When I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like Jose would write the
That
the
is
crap out of that.
awesome. That is wow.
Yeah.
I mean, no, like that. Wow.
That's why his
Mind
name
blown.
is. That's why
I
his
think-
name is
I
Kevin
think-
Owens because of Owen Hart.
I also son too, but you're
Yeah,
right. You're right.
Yeah,
I mean, if it happens,
I think it is because
it's gonna
They
it's
already
gonna be a
started.
moment where like I'm gonna cry for Kevin Owens because it's like you're fine.
Also,
like
Yeah.
Kevin, you're a top guy.
are they on?
You
Are they
know?
on Raw?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, they're
that's why
wrong.
Owens
I
has
was
been
about to
cutting
say,
promos
they
on.
they can do it because SmackDown's the night before, so they can. Because SmackDown they're in Dallas and then it's WrestleMania.
I mean,
I know
yeah.
SmackDown they're not gonna appear, but I was like, maybe you have Austin, last minute where they do like a.
I
Cena
think
Undertaker.
with Austin being back wrestling, I think they're gonna have
No,
Austin.
if it just becomes no.
The problem is,
no,
they're probably
no,
gonna make
no,
it.
no. Shut up. Get out of here. Leave. You're such a Russo. God. Why? Why was that your first idea?
That's what's
Why?
gonna happen.
No.
Oh, I'm loving this.
No.
Oh,
Now we're recording.
Cornette would love you for
Shut
this.
Up.
That's
He's
what's
like,
gonna happen.
you're
I
such-
bet you.
Jose,
I bet
They're
you're
you.
gonna
such-
have a 20-minute long match. Owens is gonna he's gonna cry halfway through. They're gonna have the moment. I mean, we haven't seen a moment like this.
I want this segment saved.
It sucks. It sucks because it's not gonna get the hype that Cena and Rock got.
Nah,
It's not gonna get the hype because Cena and Rock.
I'm sorry.
That's
knowing
a once in
WWE,
a twice.
it's gonna be
That's what
another
got me.
Cena
That's
Undertaker.
my favorite rivalry. 'Cause
Like
that's what
Cena
got me in it.
Because I rewatched a video about Cena and Rock, and I rewatched the match.
Yeah.
That opening moment.
Yeah.
Rock against Hogan. That opening moment. I've never in my years of as a wrestling fan got to experience that moment where the wrestlers just sit there and the crowd is just buzzing with excitement.
They're just blowing.
and they're just staring. And they're just staring. And that's what we're gonna get with Owens and Stone Cold. It's
And
gonna be
Austin.
Owens' final. It's gonna be Owens' his star-making moment.
Yes.
And because Cena and Taker, right? Cena didn't need to beat the Undertaker.
No.
Undertaker didn't need to beat Cena.
No, they just
They just kind of did that, right?
they just kind of
I'm
did
not
it. Yeah,
saying
yeah.
that's
Shot,
just gonna
right?
happen. I'm
But-
saying
Yeah.
WWE is probably gonna
No,
pull
they're
that
not.
out.
I think
I
that
feel like
I
they
think
are.
that if
Wait.
they, if
What
they,
exactly did he say that made you want to kick him out?
Okay, so logistically, you have SmackDown April 1st, then you
Yes.
have WrestleMania that weekend.
Yeah.
I'm saying I would not be surprised if they did another Cena and Undertaker where, they do like some weird ass segment on SmackDown. Then, they're there, and then Austin appears, he'll appear. And then they do like, how they did with Cena, where like Cena was just in the fans or whatever. Then you hear the boom and then like the stupid thing. That's why he got mad. So I'm saying,
No.
Yeah,
I don't put it
they're-
past them.
they're-
I don't put it past WWE.
no,
No.
here's the difference between Undertaker and Stone Cold. Undertaker was injured throughout that time,
Yeah.
so he couldn't show up weekly. Stone Cold, he's working right now. He's working out.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's working out. He's like working his ass off, and he's already supposed to be there.
Yeah,
as
anyway.
a host, right?
Yeah.
So he's already.
Great.
He's
Now we
like
have
I
stupid
was.
WrestleMania
When,
hosts
hey,
back.
if you go around Dallas, you'll see Stone Cold on some posters.
Oh yeah, I
on
know.
wrestling.
I'm
Like,
just saying.
So he's gonna be there.
He's gonna be
Yeah.
there.
So
but
it's not like
don't put it
Undertaker, right?
past WWE
But
to
I-
do that same thing.
I feel like they can't. They can't because that would just make Owens hate that company.
Yeah.
B
he already signed
would
the contract. What are you
B
gonna do?
no. They probably were like, okay, you know what? You want to go to AEW? Let's do something AEW can't do for you. We'll give you a Stone Cold match. You win plus this money. Why would he do it? Why in God's name? And also, Stone Cold is a perfectionist.
Oh my
You
god.
forget that Stone Cold isn't exactly like selfish.
Yeah.
He let Rock beat him the last time.
Yes.
The only time he was selfish was with Owen Hart, and that's because Owen Hart broke his neck.
Yes.
Why in God's name would Stone Cold, who loves...
I don't know why you're yelling
No,
at
no,
me.
no.
I'm
He-
just
you're
saying
right.
that's
No,
what
no, no.
WWE.
Because I don't think that we could do that.
No.
Because Stone Cold would be
I'm
like...
not that surprised.
No,
though.
Russo.
We've seen worse.
No,
Bro, let me
don't be negative.
I'm
let
sorry,
me get
bro.
this. Listen, and I agree with what you're saying, but I have to tell you this. Austin being the perfectionist, and I can identify with this. The reason he walked out in 03 was because he told management, no, you're not going to give me and Lesnar away for free TV. If they told him, we're going to have you do this and you're going to go over Owens or whatever, he would tell them, no, I'm not going over Owens. That doesn't make sense. Austin wants to be presented right, but that he doesn't care
Stone
about
Cold
losing.
is
He does not care about losing.
the most unselfish wrestler. The only time he was selfish was next to John.
I can't really get mad at Cena. He just
Nowadays,
did what he was
Cena
told.
Isn't, but him and Nexus.
Yeah,
That one was a bit.
That one was a bit.
That
yeah,
one because,
he,
but like Stone Cold, realistically, he never ruined the career of anyone. He
didn't.
He never forced himself into booking. Yes, he was a drama merchant near the end, but he was still,
I'm
Which
just
I still
saying,
can't.
man,
Again, I
knowing
can't blame him for
WWE,
being.
I do
I
not
would
put it
want.
past.
If
I don't
I was
believe it.
Austin, I would not. If management told me, yeah, we're gonna give you our next big thing away on free TV, I would say no.
Yeah, and like Owens, I
No.
feel like if Owens beats Austin,
He
it
Owens
would
will
just
go over.
propel him so good, and it would give because we like Kevin Owens,
Yeah,
but casuals are okay with
they
him.
don't get it yet.
They
Yeah.
see Kevin Owens like how we see Sheamus.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
that's
saying?
fair.
Like they
Which
don't
is
understand-
unfair to KO.
which is
Look,
unfair to KO,
I'm not
and also unfair to
discrediting
Sheamus.
anything.
Bro,
All
Jose,
I am saying.
watch Owens win, and people are like, that was stupid. They had Owens win in Dallas.
And
Watch
guess
that
what?
happen.
He's a heel though.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's
what
supposed
needs
to happen.
to happen.
Yeah.
He would beat Stone Cold in his own city.
Yeah.
And to beat him with a finish, a stunner
And
too.
beat him
And then
with
with
a
a stunner,
stunner.
yeah.
Stunner.
And his last name is Owens.
Yeah.
Come on, it
You-
writes itself.
I'm just saying, man.
He
I
would
don't.
be the top heel. And you know what?
I'm just saying.
You get him against Lesnar next.
For what though? Just straight
Owen
up.
says, I did the one thing you never did, Brock. I beat Stone Cold. Or he wears a t-shirt that says Owens and at the time of the match.
Yeah.
That would be a good marketing tool.
Jose's right. This
Why
writes itself.
would you not? I mean, this is a. If
I'm just saying, I don't put it past WWE to do
And I
something
can
like
agree with
that.
him with that, but but then again, like we're saying, Austin is not going to be a part of something that he feels
yeah,
like
Exactly.
he's not.
is going to affect something long. Like if they said, "Yo, Steve, we're going to be in Dallas," Owens is going to lose to you. Austin would be like, "Why? I'm in my 50s. I'm not doing this all the time.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. You have him beat
Exactly,
me."
exactly.
And Austin would go, "You would build a heel.
You would build the
best heel.
heel
He
in the
beat me
game.
in Dallas where I started. You can't
Literally.
let me win just because I
Exactly,
returned.
exactly.
That doesn't work that way. But watch the IWC be like, WWE did it again. Okay, I have to ask you this real quick before we have to, switch gears to regular sports. I have to ask you because I really want to consider your take on this. Booker T and Triple H, do you think they made the right decision on that?
No.
Okay, I wanted to be sure.
Like-
I thought you were gonna come up with some crazy
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
storyline wise.
I watch wrestling not only as a fan and as an analyst and
Yeah.
as a person who writes it and all that and wants to book and wants to learn to do it.
Same.
I watch it as also a minority. I'm a Mexican.
Yeah.
Right? So when I see a character that I like get screwed over in a weird way, I'm gonna get kind of mad.
Yeah.
And so Booker T, who by the way, if y'all didn't know this, I was a TNA kid.
I was too.
So I loved Booker T.
I loved
I
him.
used to do like the can
Yeah,
you
you-
dig it, sucker?
Sucker!
I loved
Yeah.
it. I loved him. I watched that match as a kid and I was pissed because I watched the build up. I mean, how do you make Triple H racist and have him win?
Yeah.
So yeah, it also just held back Booker T, and I mean I'm glad he won the title eventually. Thank God, and thank God his WWE career went well. Thank
Yeah.
God Booker T.
Booker
it
T.
wasn't affected. I mean, legend of the business.
Yeah. I love King Buka.
You know,
He was
and
great.
if they bring him out to Dallas, he will get a pop.
Oh, it's Booker
So you know
T
what?
for
Why
sure.
not get Booker T against Biggie as well?
Yeah.
But I'd rather see Biggie versus Kofi.
All right,
Yeah.
boys. I hate to
All
jump in
right.
here, but we
Yeah.
are well
Wrap it
over
up.
time. Thank you very much for watching the main events. Appreciate everybody jumping in here.
I got a jet. So
Yeah,
thank you
special
so much.
thanks to Jeremiah
Yeah.
Russo, Jose
We will
Moreno.
see you guys
Love you
after
all.
Mania.
Yes.
Gotta go to an interview.
Big
All
thanks
right, man,
over.
Take care of yourself.
Big thanks to Dan and Mark Lambert at KTU for letting us use the green studio deep in the heart of Denton, Texas. Y'all have a wonderful evening.